Where in the world is Gary Franchi today? Well, I'm back in the home studio, and it feels great. Good evening, and welcome to the Raw Feed. Yes, I am Gary Franchi, coming to you live from just outside of Chicago. And tonight, we're bringing you the stories the mainstream media doesn't want you to hear. Yes, on this historic 64th day of Donald Trump reclaiming the White House. Yes, big day here. But first, I want to thank you for joining us. You're part of something special here, a community of patriots who understand what's really happening in America. We're streaming live right now to millions worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X, and I need you to share this stream right now. So text the link to everyone you know. It's the only way to bypass the algorithm that is actively trying to silence us. Yes, I've seen it. I can see it in the statistics right now. All of a sudden, boom, we hit a plateau. For some reason, something weird is going on in these last couple of weeks. Maybe it's because we're just too close to the White House. I don't know. But make sure you follow us on all platforms, Rumble and X and YouTube, because this is information you will not get anywhere else. And tonight, you're not just watching, you are participating. We'll be interacting with you in the live chat, getting a reaction to today's explosive news. And for those sending in super chats and Rumble rants, we'll be featuring them on screen for the world to see between segments. And maybe even now, if you send something in. Your voice matters here. So what are we covering tonight? Well, buckle up, because this is going to be intense. The Trump administration has just gone full beast mode, resetting America in a single Sunday. From education reform to border security, the cabinet hit every major network yesterday, dropping truth bombs the media just can't handle. They're transforming America right now before our eyes, and we have the exclusive breakdown. And of course, President Trump celebrated Greek Independence Day at the White House, welcoming heroes while sending a powerful message about American strength on the global stage. It wasn't just a ceremonial event. It was Trump reasserting America's leadership position in the world, Greek style. Meanwhile, the left's fear of Elon Musk has reached dangerous new heights. As Democrats panic, they're turning to underhanded tactics and even threats of violence. We'll show you what they're doing and why it matters to every freedom-loving American. And the Commonwealth controversy is expanding as Trump's global politics clash with America's future. From Greenland's strategic importance to rare earth minerals, major geopolitical shifts are happening that will determine America's place in the world order. And finally, Chuck Schumer is under fire as the Democrat Party faces an internal crisis. AOC and Bernie Sanders are in the spotlight, and the power struggle is exposing deep rifts that could reshape American politics and clearly the Democrat Party. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. We need your support to keep bringing you this critical information. The powers that be do not want these stories told. That's why we've included donation links in the description, because your contribution keeps us independent and on the air. We've also launched our channel memberships, each with different levels of perks. Support us and receive special acknowledgement in the chat room while unlocking exclusive access to the Next News team and behind-the-scenes video you will never see published for the public. And don't forget to check out our merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Show the world where you stand with exclusive Next News swag. So stay with us, because we're going to be reading your super chats between segments. They get priority, and we want to hear what you think about these developing stories. This is the Raw Feed. I'm Gary Franchi, and the truth starts now. Let's welcome you to the show. We got Pudhead Kenny. We got Sammy B.A., Lee and Luigi. We got 888 in the house. We've got God is Good All the Time, Do Some Diff. We got Cisco. Simon M. Blue is here. Who else is in the house? We've got John Soper, Joe Hamilton, Joe Oliveira, Derek Martin, Joe Carroll Dodds, Jerome Schlichter, Henora Brennan in the house. Who else is here? Adam Chesley, what's up? We've got R. Boyd, Lizette Taylor. We've got Astronomical Jeff Gadboy. Remember, when you chat, let everybody know where you're watching from. What city, what state, what country, whatever you're comfortable with disclosing, and of course, the device. We're seeing in the analytics, a lot of people are actually watching the show on their big screen televisions at home on their smart devices, which is actually a new, I guess it's a new threshold. It used to be all mobile, but now people are watching it on their big TVs, which is pretty cool. We've got Destroyer to All Trolls. We got Joe Carroll and Maria Colin. We've got Derek Martin, Forrest Melman, Jeff, Jerome, Wireless Customer. Okay, the gang is all here. Who else? Anacton, Rumblebot, Stewart, And who else? Let's take a look. Simon Santa Gonzalez, Ted Turner. Ted Turner's here. We got Bearded Roofer, Trisha Ann in Rockford. We got Artsy Junkin in Alaska. What's up, Alaska? We got Daryl in New York. Ernie watching in Loma Linda, California. We got Jeremy in near Tulsa. We got DRM in Youngstown, Ohio, baby. Masterita in Manizales, Caldas, Colombia. Wow, what's up, man? Heather Reeve, back from the doctor's appointment. We got Bradley, Sammy, Sean Gunk, Vicky, Leslie Kiss, American Farm in Missouri, Steve in Pahrump, Nevada, Damian Diaz in San Antonio, Texas. We got Dead Pete's. What's up? Roger Hockenberry. We've got CME Gordy, Ennington 2. We got Steve Stout, Steve Turk, Jerome, Devil Ghost, and Janet Castro. Oh my goodness, all you guys are here. Phoenix is in the house too. Patricia and Debbie is in the desert. So great to see everybody in the house tonight. We got to get some news started. Would you guys like me to start the news? Are you guys down? I think you are. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, what we witnessed yesterday was nothing short of extraordinary. In a single Sunday, the Trump administration unleashed a coordinated media blitz across every major network. Education Secretary Linda McMahon torched the broken education system. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz delivered a crystal clear ultimatum to Iran. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem announced a 25-year low in border crossings. It wasn't random. It was a strategic reset of America happening in real time. From school choice to foreign policy, border security to economic revival, Trump's cabinet delivered a week's worth of wins in 24 hours. The mainstream media, of course, is in panic mode because they know America is back. So as we step into 2025, one thing is crystal clear. De-dollarization is accelerating. China and other BRICS nations fear President Trump, making them more determined to reduce dollar dependence. Their secret weapon is gold. China has resumed buying gold while underreporting their purchases. Why? Well, they recognize its global value and immunity to economic shocks. And gold is tangible, reliable, and manipulation resistant. This isn't about nations, it's about you. In a world of shifting economic power, gold is your hedge against uncertainty. Noble Gold Investments can secure your financial future, so visit nextnewsgold.com or call that number on the screen, 877-646-5347, and with a qualified account, receive 10 1-ounce silver American Eagle coins. That's nextnewsgold.com. Tell them Gary sent you. All right, let's get into this. Did you guys see this? Trump is pretty pissed, actually. This is the picture. This is the painting that was hung in Colorado. Does that look like Trump to you? Yeah, he's not too pleased by it. And this is what he posted about it on True Social. He says, nobody likes a bad picture or painting of themselves, but the one in Colorado in the state capitol put up by the governor along with all the other presidents was purposely distorted to a level that even I perhaps would never seen before. The artist also did President Obama, and he looks wonderful, but the one on me is truly the worst. She must have lost her talent as she got older. In any event, I would much prefer not having a picture than having this one. But many people from Colorado have called and written to complain. In fact, they're actually angry about it. I'm speaking on their behalf to the radical left governor, Jared Polis, who is extremely weak on crime, in particular with respect to Tren de Aragua, which practically took over Aurora. Don't worry, we saved it. To take it down, Jared should be ashamed of himself. Yeah, look at that picture, man. That's atrocious. So President Trump, this is making waves today. He saw it. He's like, hell no, not for me. And obviously, the leftist governor of Colorado, this feels like a hit job. Like they just did it just to hit his ego. And of course, Donald Trump fired back on True Social. But the administration is in full beast mode right now. Yes, one Sunday, every network, truth bombs the news can't handle, border, Iran, jobs, judges, education, a strategic reset of America live on TV. Yes, the lions were out. So let's jump into this. We've got all the breakdown This is the roundup that y'all missed on Sunday. Now, this is Trump's education secretary. We cannot be last in the world on education, torching the broken system, saying it's our duty to restore excellence and end the globalist rot poisoning our school. Trump's rebuilding the foundation for our kids. Now, what's amazing is I was in the room. I was in the East Room when President Trump signed that executive order that began the dismantling of the Department of Education. I was in the White House when all this went down. History was made. I witnessed it, and we are all going to be a part of it. Now, listen.
Providing the best education. Our goal is to make sure that we are providing the best education for students in our country. We cannot be last in the world in education because we are impacting our national security. We are impacting those next, second, and third generations that are coming along. It is up to us and our responsibility to make sure we are giving them the best access to education. Our goal.
We cannot be last in the world, but that's exactly what Barack Obama, all the presidents before, Joe Biden, they just let the education system fall apart while the unions got richer. And that's why it's important to dismantle the Department of Education. Now, a lot of people have said to me, well, Gary, I see the comments, Gary, it has to be an act of Congress, right? Only Congress can dismantle the Department of Education. Well, that's absolutely true. But what if the Department of Education became the size of a closet with one guy processing Pell Grants in the executive building, right? Yeah, they didn't get rid of it, but here it is. Here it is. Just go in that door. Yeah, Joe's over there processing your Pell Grants. Okay, so that's one way they're going to get around it if Congress doesn't play ball. Education Secretary Linda McMahon says it straight. A D.C. bureaucrat can't help a special needs child better than a local teacher. Trump's team is deconstructing the top-down tyranny, replacing it with real solutions that work at home, not in a think tank.
I have the secretary. They're not going to be disrupted. And it really does rest from the federal level on the funding. So the funding is appropriated by Congress. It flows through to the states. But am I, the Secretary of Education sitting in Washington, going to have a view into a schoolroom where a teacher is trying to take care of a student with special needs? Or is that going to happen better at the local level where that teacher, in cooperation with the parents and the local school officials, has more opportunity to make sure that student's needs are taken care of? That's where it needs to lie. But if they don't have the funding, if they don't have the support from Congress to continue to appropriate that money, then that's where the students can really, fall through the cracks. They're not.
Yeah, see, it has to start at the local level. You can't rule from the federal government, especially on education. The teachers and the administration in those local schools, they know best. School choice or bust. Trump believes no child should be trapped in a failing school. McMahon says it loud. Parents, not bureaucrats, decide. It is war on government-run indoctrination centers, and Team Trump is winning.
Do you believe that the federal government has a responsibility to ensure that all children, rural children, urban, rich, poor, special needs, have access to quality education?
That is certainly the goal of the president. He has said that he wants to make sure that there is equal access to quality education for every student in our country, which is why he is such a proponent of school choice. He doesn't believe that any child should be trapped in a failing school, that we should have parents have the ability to choose where their children can be able to go to school so that if they are in a failing school, they have an opportunity to have better education somewhere else, that they have the tools to be able to do that.
Do you believe?
And do you want your child in a failing school? Do you support school choice? I certainly do, especially in the state of Illinois. Here we have Pam Bondi going nuclear on activist judges trying to run U.S. foreign policy. She says this is an out-of-control judge. 261 gang members are now in a Salvadorian prison, not on our streets. The Trump doctrine, follow the law and protect Americans. Listen in.
Any notice? This is an out-of-control judge, a federal judge trying to control our entire foreign policy, and he cannot do it. He dragged us into court on a Saturday without any notice, and then he's continuing these hearings. He's trying to ask us about national security information, which he is absolutely not entitled to. We are appealing. We will be in court Monday. Again, we will win. We will prevail. There are 260 61 reasons why Americans are safer today. And that's because those people are now in an El Salvador prison. And we are going to follow the law, and we are going to protect Americans. You know, there's a reason why Biden's approval rating was plummeting because of the border. There's a reason why the current Democrats' approval rating is at 29%. People want to be safe. This is President Trump's agenda to keep Americans safe, Maria. It's basic public safety. Get these people out of our country as fast as we can. They're not immigrants. They're illegal aliens who are committing the most violent crimes you can imagine on Americans. Murder, rapes. You know, ask the parents of all of these young women who have been violently strangled, raped, and murdered. And we are going to continue to make America safe again because that's President Trump's agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, and what's mind-blowing is that you actually have Democrats and judges fighting to keep these people in our country. Like, why? Why would you want these people in our country at all? It's mind-blowing. But, of course, the Democrats do not care about your safety, clearly. And here we have, check this out, all options are on the table. Yeah, when they say that, you know, and they mean business. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz delivers a deadline to Iran. Give up the nukes or face the fury. The Trump administration is done with shadow games. This is peace through strength, and Tehran just heard the sirens. Listen to this.
Factories.
So the Iran-backed Houthis, they continue to fire at Israel. What is the last week of bombing achieved? And if you're holding Iran responsible, what's next?
Well, we've taken out key Houthi leadership, including their head missileer. We've hit their headquarters. We've hit communications nodes, weapons factories, and even some of their over-the-water drone production facilities. Just in the last couple of days, President Trump has decided to hit the Houthis and hit them hard, as opposed to in the last administration where literally weeks or months would go by with these kind of one-off pinprick attacks. And as a result, we've had one of the world's most critical sea lanes get shut down. I mean, these guys are like Al-Qaeda or ISIS with advanced cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and some of the most sophisticated air defenses, all provided by Iran. Just to, so everybody understands the impact here, the last time one of our destroyers went through the straits there, it was attacked 23 times. 75% of our U.S. flagged shipping now has to go around the southern coast of Africa rather than going through the Suez Canal. And keeping the sea lanes open, keeping trade and commerce open is a fundamental aspect of our national security. The last administration was not effective. The Trump administration and President Trump have decided to do something much harder, much tougher, and what we'll see, but I think will be much more effective.
So the president said he's going to hold Iran responsible as well. Envoy Steve Witkoff said in an interview that Iran had responded to this U.S. outreach via multiple channels in regard to a letter sent by the president. Witkoff described it as an offer to Iran to create a verification program so nobody worries about weaponization of nuclear material. Can you clarify, is the U.S. seeking the dismantlement of Iran's nuclear program or verification like what President Obama put in place back in 2015 and President Trump pulled out of?
Full dismantlement. Okay. Iran has to give up its program in a way that the entire world can see. And this is, look, as President Trump has said, this is coming to a head. All options are on the table. And it is time for Iran to walk away completely from its desire to have a nuclear weapon. And they will not and cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapons program.
So what's to say they won't do it in secret anyway, right? And then we've got this, the border wall's back and it's working. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, this isn't Joe Biden's world anymore. 25-year low in border crossings, laws enforced, country secured. Trump's law and order legacy is back, and the globalists are shrieking. Why? Because they love importing third world nations into our country to destabilize it.
Department of Defense.
I want to ask you, border crossings, they're at a 25-year low.
They are. It's fantastic.
There are 6,000 U.S. military personnel working at the border now. That number could go up to 9,000 by the end of the month. How long do you have to keep them there if the numbers are already dropping like this?
You know, we'll continue the partnership with the Department of Defense, but also we've got partnerships with Commerce, with the Attorney General's office. You know, we're working every day with the Secretary of State. We'll keep them there until that border is completely secure, and we see all-time record lows of encounters. Our Border Patrol is doing fantastic work, but we're going to keep them there till the whole world gets the message that this isn't Joe Biden's world anymore. This is President Donald Trump's country, where we have a border, where we have laws, and it applies equally to everybody. I think that is what is so refreshing, is that we're not picking and choosing winners and losers anymore. Americans have to live by the law. So do those who come to this country. You have to come here legally, or there will be consequences.
Is that too much to ask, really? Just come here legally? I mean, imagine think about all the people that did come here legally. They followed the rules. They gained their citizenship. They paid all the fees or whatever they have to do to become a citizen. And then 20 million illegals storm the border, jump in line. I mean, imagine how you would feel. I'm not against immigration at all. Just come here legally. Like my relatives did before me, like your relatives did before you. That's how it works in this country. Don't skip the line. And then we got this Trump envoy Witkoff laying it out. You don't get peace without talking. Only Trump has the guts to broker peace in Ukraine. The media laughs. Meanwhile, he's negotiating ceasefires behind the scenes because that's what 40 chess looks like. Let's listen.
I met with President Putin twice at the direction of the president, because everything I do is at his direction. And they were productive meetings. We accomplished quite a bit. We opened channels of communication. President Putin told me at the first meeting that he had had no conversation with the prior administration, in particular President Biden, for 3.5 years. I'm not sure how anyone would expect an end to a conflict when you're not communicating. So we had a very, very good conversation, productive. We discussed real ways to end this conflict. That led to a second conversation. First conversation being close to 3.5 hours. Second conversation being in that time, in that space as well, 3.5 or 4 hours. That led to agreement. By the end of the second conversation, we had proposals on an energy infrastructure ceasefire and a Black Sea moratorium on firing on each other's ships. And these things had been on the shelf for several years. So I think that's commendable on the part of all of the parties. And this is at President Trump's direction. His philosophy of peace through strength brings people to the table to clear up misconceptions and to get peace deals done. And that's exactly what's happening right now.
It's been on the shelf for years. So they've had these tools in the toolbox for years. And instead of employing them, they just sent billions upon billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine. Where's that money now? Nobody knows. No, there's never been an audit of any of that money. I mean, do you remember that report we did where they found that Ukrainian general with a duffel bag full of American cash? Where did that come from? God only knows. But finally, we have a commander-in-chief that understands the power of negotiating. The art of the deal on the global stage is happening in real time, and we're witnessing it. And we're going to finally have some real lasting peace. He's bringing these people to the table. Joe Biden just threw money at the problem. How much of that money went back to the big guy, right? And then we got this. The National Economic Council Director, Kevin Hassett, an economic rocket launch. After losing 110,000 jobs, we made 10,000 in 1 month, 9,000 in auto jobs alone. That's Trump's America. Industry rising, not crumbling. The comeback is real, baby.
Just got this Friday. Looking at the jobs report that we just got this Friday, you can see that it's already working. In just 1 month alone, after losing 110,000 manufacturing jobs, we made 10,000 in February alone. 9,000 of them were auto jobs.
Yeah, think about that for a minute. The economy is roaring back. Here's more. The numbers are way down. Border czar Tom Homan confirming the media's worst nightmare that Trump fixed the border. Yeah, remember the media kept telling you that it wasn't happening and, yeah, there's nothing to see here. No. I mean, Elon Musk had to go down to the border to see for himself, okay? I mean, Kamala Harris only went to the border when? When it was convenient, when it was time to campaign, when it was too little too late. The borders are. Kamala Harris, what a joke that was. Okay. Confirms the media's worst nightmare. Trump fixed the border. We're not just enforcing, we are dominating. He says we're not done until we have total control.
Like as you just mentioned, the numbers are way down. I mean, they are dramatically down.
They're down. Illegal entry is down 96%. What's most impressive is known gotaways. Known gotaways under Joe Biden, were on average 1,800 people a day across the border, weren't apprehended, weren't processed, weren't vetted. We don't know who they are, where they came from. That's a huge national security issue. Known gotaways are down to, double digits now. But, we're not going to be satisfied till that known gotaways down to zero. We're going to secure that border, make sure no public safety threats or national security threats cross that border and get away. So, look, we knew what would happen as we secure the southern border, the land border. Some of these groups are going to take to the maritime. They're going to take to the water. So we're, got the Coast Guard, you got CBP Maritime Patrol. We're going to have the Navy out there looking at the maritime. And again, it's just not about illegal migration. It's about people who come to this country to do us harm. It's public safety threats, national security threats. You look under the Biden administration, we had over 400 people on terrorist watch lists that were arrested trying to sneak in the country. But we got 2.2 million gotaways under Joe Biden. 2.2 million people paid more to get away. They could have paid less money, just get to the border, turn themselves over to a Border Patrol agent, get released within 24 hours, get a free airline ticket to the city of their choice, get a free hotel room, get 3 meals a day, get free medical care, and get work authorization in 90 days. So why did more than 2 million people pay more to get away? They didn't want to be vetted. They want to be fingerprinted. We're going to secure the border, both the land border and the maritime border, to make sure these public safety threats and national security threats will get in the country. So we'll use these assets as long as we can till we get to the point where we have total operational control of the border and national security threats have no avenue into this country.
Amen. Finally. The adults are in charge. So this is what real leadership looks like. Trump's cabinet just unleashed a week's worth of wins on education, security, jobs, peace. Don't let the mainstream media bury it. Follow Next News Network on X, the only White House credentialed outlet fighting for the truth. And yeah, there's me outside the White House. And speaking of me at the White House, I just got an email from the White House minutes ago. Let's take a look at it here together. This just came in about 20 minutes ago. It is an executive order that was just signed imposing tariffs on countries importing Venezuelan oil. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, including the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, 50 U.S.C. 1701, the National Emergencies Act, 50 U.S.C. 1601, and Section 301 of Title III United States Code, and in view of the national emergency declared with respect to Venezuela in Executive Order 13692 of March 8, 2015, blocking property and suspending entry of certain persons contributing to the situation in Venezuela, as continued most recently in the notice on February 27, 2025, the continuation of national emergency with respect to Venezuela, I, Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, find that the actions and policies of the regime of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela continue to pose an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. The activities of the Tren de Aragua gang, the transnational criminal organization originating in Venezuela and designated as a foreign terrorist organization, and especially designated global terrorist organization, have intensified this threat. As highlighted in Proclamation 10903 of March 14, 2025, the invocation of the Alien Enemies Act regarding the invasion of the United States by Tren de Aragua. Furthermore, Venezuela's ongoing destabilization actions, including its support for illicit activities, necessitates further economic measures to protect the United States. In light of these circumstances, and to address the continued national emergency with respect to Venezuela, forms the basis for Executive Order 13692, and hereby orders Section 1 findings, Tren de Aragua gang, with origins of Venezuela, a foreign terrorist organization involved in terrorist activities. Oh my Lord, I can't even read this stuff. Destabilizing the communities across the Western Hemisphere. The prior administration's open border policies facilitated the infiltration of the United States by members of Tren de Aragua, allowing these dangerous criminals to establish a foothold within the United States cities and prey on American citizens. So existing sanctions on Venezuela include those imposed in Executive Order 13692, EO 13808 of August 24, 2017. Of course, that was his administration, the first administration. Executive Order 13805, blocking property of additional persons contributing to the situation in Venezuela. Executive Order 13884 of August. He's like recalling all of his executive orders from the first administration. He's basically recalling them and declaring they all remain in effect. The actions and policies of the Maduro regime that were in the basis for those orders continue to pose an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security. Okay, and he goes on to explain what these threats are: systematic undermining of democratic institutions, endemic economic mismanagement, regime's responsibility for the deepening humanitarian and public health crisis, the destabilization of Western Hemisphere. So on April 2nd, here's where it goes. The imposition of tariffs, Section 2. On or after April 2nd of 2025, a tariff of 25% may be imposed on all goods imported into the United States from any country that imports Venezuelan oil. Any country. So if any country touches Venezuelan oil, boom, 25% tariff. Think about what that does. If Venezuela is selling their oil to Germany or Namibia or Brazil, that means any products coming from those countries, 25% tariff. So that's going to choke all those countries. They're going to say, oh boy, we're going to get tariffs if we touch Venezuelan oil. And that's going to have a massive impact on the economy of Venezuela, because no one's going to want to buy that oil anymore because they're going to be afraid of getting tariffed. April 2nd, that is the day. Imports Venezuelan oil directly from Venezuela or indirectly through third parties. So if it even goes through an intermediary, you're gonna get tariffed. Duties imposed by this order will be supplemental to duties on imports already imposed pursuant to IEEPA, Section 232 of the Trade Expansion of 62, Section 301 Trade Act of 1974, and any other authority. So, yeah, boom. I mean, Secretary of State with Treasury, Commerce, Homeland Security, all are authorized to impose the tariffs established by the order. So Donald Trump is getting ready to choke out Venezuela big time. So what we're seeing is the dismantling of the globalist agenda, and it has begun. It's happening faster than anyone expected. This wasn't just a media tour. It was a declaration of war against the establishment that's been selling out American interests for decades. And Trump's team isn't just asking permission. They're taking back control and reasserting American sovereignty on every front. So the real question is, and this is for you guys, you can answer in the comments. I will see your comments. And if you want to bring even more attention, drop my name in the comments, because I see that. So here's the question. How will the deep state respond to this full frontal assault on their power structure? We're witnessing the opening salvo in what could be the most consequential battle for America's soul in our lifetime. Drop a comment below and get your Next News gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and show which side of the fight you're on. All right. What's up? All right. Any super chats? Wow. No super chats. How odd. Okay. Kamala doesn't get that. No more big pharma ads on TV. I'm hoping that happens. Kamala doesn't get that round. Oh, man. It takes a lone eagle to change our country, says Barbara. Joe says, remember, protect the Second Amendment, says Dave. Chad Ryan, what's up, Chad? Dropping the first super chat of the day. Thank you for that. Hey, ho, ho. Woke Dems have got to go. Hey, ho, ho. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Right? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Gary, we love winning, says Deanne. Yo, Gary, the Donald's just flipping them the bird, isn't he, though? How is the weather? It's actually a little chilly up here. Yeah, a little chilly. Who else is in the house? Loving the winning. Send us our Doge checks. Yeah, what are you going to do with your Doge check? I wonder if it's contingent upon filing your 1040. You only get your Doge check if you file. That would be a mess. Okay, we got some more news to get to. Let's jump into our next topic of the evening because it is a doozy. All right. It was so cool to see this. And my wife, of course, is of Greek descent, first generation. So watching this unfold at the White House today was actually quite beautiful. Oh, Bruce Lombardo, real quick. What is he saying, Bruce? $20. Wow. Bruce says, just got in. Love your work. Your videos are listened to while I go from job to job with the truck. I'm hoping we see more of these commie types getting either exiled or better. I'm not even worried about a Doge check. Right on, Bruce. Well, thanks for your $20. We appreciate that sincerely. Okay, let's get back to it. We've got more news to cover. We're just getting started here on the raw feed. Oh, and Chad, what? Seriously, though, buy as much Tesla stock as you can. All right. Let's see. Okay, there it is. There's your $2. Thank you, Chad. Appreciate that. Really, I do. Okay. Got to find that clip. Here it is. President Trump transformed a diplomatic event into a powerful declaration of American renewal. At the Greek Independence Day celebration, Trump honored Hellenic heritage while simultaneously announcing Hyundai's massive $20 billion investment, including $5.8 billion for a Louisiana steel plant, as he welcomed hero Alex Skarlatos and received Archbishop Epitaphoros. Congratulations. Commerce Secretary Lutnick, I'm going to get totally butchered by my Greek relatives for not saying that correctly. Secretary Lutnick declared April 2nd as American Liberation Day when the world starts respecting America again. Florida gas prices hit their lowest point in a year while global investments pour in. It wasn't just about Greece. It was about showcasing America's economic resurrection and global leadership simultaneously. He declared, President Trump, make Greece great again. But the subtext was clear. America's greatness is already being restored. And looking at the vibrant celebration of Greek culture at the White House reminds me how important heritage and tradition are to our identity. And speaking of honoring traditions, Greeks have known for centuries that natural remedies often work best. That's why I am excited about this groundbreaking 2024 collagen study showing dramatic effects on skin health. Women taking daily collagen reported fewer wrinkles and firmer skin. But not all collagen is equal. This multi-collagen formula I use features 5 key types from 4 different sources with hydrolyzed peptides for maximum absorption. It's non-GMO, gluten-free, and blends perfectly into your coffee. Right now, you can get 5% off during their holiday promotion, celebrating Greek heritage at healthwithgary.com. Your skin will thank you. Now, this is a beautiful video, a beautiful roundup. We've got all the clips from the ceremony and more, but this is a beautiful roundup. My wife and I watched this, and I got to share it with you. This is from the Greek Reporter.
Greek Day. From the White House. Today, the White House is going Greek. It is the day that President Trump has invited Greeks and Greek Americans to celebrate Greek independence.
Make Greece great again, right? On March 25th, 1821, Greek patriots rose up and fought to liberate their country.
The president opens the White House to the Greek community to celebrate Greek independence. It's very special for me to be able to come back as a former employee of the White House.
And of course, the party wouldn't do it without real life.
Are you having a good time? Is everybody having a good time?
This is Bookseller's Room at the White House, and we have some Greek dancers.
It's a great culture. They all want to be Greek, you know? The United States and all of Western civilization has been profoundly shaped by the extraordinary achievements of the Greek people, stretching all the way back to ancient times.
This event has a long history, and we will find the Greeks that started it back in the years of President Reagan.
Now, what we did 33 years ago, passed a resolution through the House and Senate establishing March 25th as Greek Independence Day. Then we wanted to get the president to sign the document. So at the time, Reagan was president. Tom Korlogis is an old friend, helped get Reagan to sign.
He liked the Greeks. President Reagan, I took him to Detroit, to Greek town, and he liked the Slovakia, and we had a big thing for Greek Day. And the other ones were done in the Rose Garden with flowers and big press briefing, and it grew and grew and grew, and every president since has done it. And the thing like this in this government, in this White House, if the last guy did it, the next guy wants to do it better.
Only two nationalities have met with every president every year for 30 years. That's the Irish, who are 1 out of 9, and the Greek Americans, who are 1 out of every 250.
This evening, we also celebrate the countless ways Greek Americans strengthen and uplift and inspire our nation. You live by the values that are the foundation of America's greatness. You really do.
This is music from Greece, from the Greenland Island.
I want to thank you. God bless you. And again, I want to wish all of you a joyous Greek Independence Day.
An amazing roundup from the Greek Reporter. Greeks are everywhere, aren't they? Oh, yeah, certainly in my household. Oh, it's so cool to see this. So we've got some clips here. Oh, there was one here, man. This one was absolutely epic. Okay, I put this on our X account. If you're not following us there, you need to. This will definitely give you chills. Okay, the Archbishop of America presenting Donald Trump with a golden holy cross, invoking Emperor Constantine. Great. Go with this and be victorious. Make America invincible. Listen to this.
Through your leadership, you embody the values of our Christian faith and love for the gospel. You remind me of the great Roman Emperor, Constantine the Great. This emperor, your dear Mr. President, is the one who founded and built the magnificent city of Constantinople, my birthplace, known today as Istanbul. It is my great honor to present you with this holy cross.
Wow, thank you.
This cross is the very symbol that led this great Roman Emperor Constantine to victory. As Christ revealed to him in a vision, he said, "En tuto nika," told the emperor, means go with this and be victorious, Mr. President. This cross is an everlasting symbol of peace and an invincible trophy, a sign of divine strength and guidance. With this cross, I pray you bring peace to the world and make America invincible.
How cool is that, right? Make America invincible. Like, I thought he was going to say, make America great again. No, he took it to the next level. Make America invincible. I thought that was so cool when he said that. Here we have more. Let's go to the president's remarks.
courage. From Washington to Chicago, from New York to Detroit, from Philadelphia to the famous Tarpon Springs. You know all about Tarpon Springs, Florida. Greek Americans have blessed our country with exceptional courage, patriotism, and tremendous skill. Under this administration, we will continue to honor the virtues, ideals, and spirit of this magnificent heritage, and it is indeed magnificent, that has flourished for thousands of years, from the golden age of ancient Greece to the golden age of America. That's where we are right now, the golden age of America. Right, John? Once again, let me wish you all a very, very happy Greek Independence Day. It's an honor, again, to have Your Eminence. It's an honor to have you with us. I appreciate it very much, and I appreciate that magnificent cross. It will be with me always. And I'd just like to finish by saying you are a very, very special people. I wouldn't have missed this. I was very busy today. I had something. They took me away, and I said, well, isn't that the same day we're celebrating Greek Independence Day? They said, yes. I said, cancel the other one. It was a very big deal. It was not easy to do, my friend. It was not easy to do, but we did it, and it's now my honor to sign the proclamation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So cool, man. If you've ever been to like a Greek church picnic, it is something. And to see them serving all that Greek food, and talking about souvlaki, man, making me hungry just thinking about it. Here's Kimberly Guilfoyle. You know, she is now the ambassador to Greece, and here's what she had to say.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much of everyone being here. And I tell you, this is the honor and privilege of a lifetime to serve this country and to serve a country that I love so much, that is so near and dear to my heart, with Greece, and to do it under the guidance, the leadership, the most important, powerful president that this country has ever seen, a man of integrity. I know the measure of the man and his character and his strength. And I know his love for the people of Greece, the birthplace of democracy. And today we celebrate and cherish our rich history and our enduring bond, the United States and Greece, and the founding of the Hellenic Republic. And under President Trump, sleep well at night and wake up in the morning feeling hopeful and optimistic for a man that will fight for the economy of this country and of Greece, for religious liberty and freedom, and for the enduring alliance of Greece and the United States. God bless you all. Thank you for having me.
Wow.
Good afternoon.
Man, those are some beautiful words, weren't they? Man, Kimberly Guilfoyle, now the ambassador to Greece. Here we have more on President Trump's remarks.
25th, 18, the bond between the United States and modern Greek nation goes back more than 2 centuries. On March 25th, 1821, Greek patriots began their noble fight to reclaim their destiny from the grip of a foreign empire, a very powerful foreign empire. President James Monroe said at the time that the whole civilized world had a deep interest in a victory for the Greek people. President Monroe understood that Americans were bound by history and culture to the birthplace of democracy and the cradle of Western civilization. From the pages of our Constitution to the architecture of this capital city, this wonderful city of ours that we're fixing up, starting to shape up very nicely, isn't it, huh? To the very words of the English language, the legacy of the Greeks is all around us. It encircles us. But perhaps the greatest gift we have inherited from that amazing culture is our incredible Greek American community that is now more than 3 million strong. I worked very hard. The bond between the United States and modern Greek nation goes back more than...
Oh, man, so beautiful, man. It's just so cool to see it. And I thought it was interesting how the Greek reporter mentioned that only Ireland and Greece are recognized in such a fashion. And I'm half Irish. Okay, my wife, she's Greek. So my kids are Irish, Greek, and Italian. This is this exciting day. It's beautiful. We talk about so much hard news here and so much heavy topics, but, sometimes we really have to just look at some of the beauty that's happening in this country and recognize it. Here we go. Here's more from the Archbishop.
Of our nation. allow me to offer the congratulations of the Greek American community on your re-election to the presidency of our nation. We all look forward to a bright future for all Americans. I also want to thank you for creating the White House Faith Office, which promises to be an extraordinary collaboration between your administration and all faith leaders. Allow me to offer the congratulations of the Greek American community.
Oh, man, it's just so beautiful to witness this. Here we have more. This is President Trump welcoming Alex Skarlatos.
And we're joined today by one extraordinary Greek-American citizen, Alex Skarlatos. And you know the story of Alex, inspired by his grandfather who fought against the Nazis and the Greek resistance. Alex joined the National Guard after high school 10 years ago following a deployment to Afghanistan. You all read about this. Alex and his friends were on a train from Amsterdam to Paris when a bloodthirsty radical Islamic terrorist began shooting innocent people all over the train. They were falling left and right. In an act of tremendous valor, Alex and his comrades charged the gunman despite being completely unarmed and beat him into submission. And where is Alex? He's around here someplace. Get up here, Alex. Get up here. Come on, Alex. Get up here, Alex. Before providing life-saving aid to an American who was shot and hurt so badly, Alex's bravery helped save countless innocent lives that day. And today he continues to serve his country as a member of the Oregon State Legislature. So, Alex, come up here for a second. I at least want to shake your hand. Come up here. That's a big story. He had a lot of, I don't think I would have done that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Come here.
Thank you. I
Want to say
appreciate it.
something? Go ahead.
Oh,
wow.
Well, one of the last times I was here was actually to watch our movie that Clint Eastwood directed, and we watched it with the president. And that was, I think February of 2018. And I honestly was surprised because I thought the president would watch about 10 minutes and then leave. And he stayed for the whole movie, which I was very impressed by because we played ourselves in the movie and the acting wasn't the best, but it was a very accurate movie. And the best part was when it came to the part where we were beating up the terrorist, the president hit me on the shoulder and was like, right on. And I was like, cool. So that's one of the top tier memories for me. So I just wanted to say thanks so much and great to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, man. How cool would that be? President Trump tapping you on the shoulder like that. Oh, man. You know, like when I was at the Oval Office or when I was at the upper press room the other day at the White House and, was introducing myself to some of the players up there. And as I was leaving, I think you guys maybe saw the story, but as I was leaving the upper press room, someone opened up the door to the Oval Office. I asked Secret Service, tell me, what's that door go to? Oh, it's the Oval Office. And I said, wow, that's really cool. But then someone comes out of the door and I could just hear Trump's voice, like just bellowing. And I was like, holy cow. Like it's one thing when you see him on the campaign trail, you see him at a rally, you see him at a photo op, you see him in an interview or whatever, right? But to actually see him or just hear him in action is a completely different experience because obviously I couldn't physically see him, but I could hear him. And the presence was so profound. And as I walked away, I asked the Secret Service, did I just hear President Trump? He said, oh yeah, he's quite loud, he said. A remarkable moment. Maybe one day I'll be able to get to that Oval Office myself. Okay, and then, sorry, I get a little choked up when I think about it because it's just a beautiful thing. Here's Kimberly Guilfoyle, the new ambassador to Greece with President Trump in some of these photographs. Here we have more. Okay, we played this one. Okay, so switching gears going into the left and what they're doing, far left activist Elie Mystal suggesting if Democrats regain power, they should eliminate all voter registration laws because voter registration is racist. I mean, this guy is just off his rocker every day, but of course, this is MSNBC.
Right? So we're
okay. So like what?
Well, we could eliminate all voter registration laws. See, when Democrats get in charge, we try to protect voting rights. We don't make voting easier. Now, I'm all for voter eligibility requirements. We might disagree about what those requirements should be, but I'm going to say that like there should be an age limit to vote. I might say 16, you might say 18, but I'm not going to say 8, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to agree that there should be voter eligibility requirements. But once you're eligible, why do you have to pre-register? Why is that even a thing? It wasn't a thing in this country at the founding. We didn't have voter pre-registration in 1787. We didn't have voter pre-registration in 1821. We only started having voter registration, generally speaking, after the Civil War. Why do you think that is? It's because a bunch of freed African slaves were migrating up north, and all of a sudden New York was like, we need some registration up in here, right? A bunch of immigrants from Europe, mainly Ireland and Italy, were coming to New York. People were like, oh, we need some registration in here. If you're eligible to vote, you should be automatically registered to vote, and that is how they do it everywhere else but us. Everywhere else but us either has automatic registration or some other form of forced registration for everybody so that you don't have this disconnect between eligible voters and registered voters. That's the first law in the book that we could change. And it's to see how that's different than just saying we have to protect voting rights. No. We don't have to protect voting rights. We have to expand voting rights so that the 90 million people that sat on the couch and sat out this last election between democracy and fascism, so that maybe they had a little bit of an easier time to get up off the couch and come participate in the democracy.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever you say there, pal. We're just trying to have secure elections. I think that's what we're trying to do here. Here we have more. Under the leadership of Kash Patel, the FBI is getting back to its core mission of ensuring the safety of Americans and the security of our homeland. Quote tweeting this. This is what he said. This FBI has already brought to justice a co-conspirator in the Abbey Gate attack on our troops and arrested 3 of the FBI's 10 most wanted.
Most wanted top just in the last 3 weeks, Trey. The FBI has arrested and brought to justice, thanks to the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi, 3 top 10 of the FBI's most wanted. Let me just say that again. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of the FBI's most wanted top 10 are now in custody because of our relationships with folks like Director Ratcliffe and Secretary Hegseth and Rubio, and the list goes on. But we've also returned to justice in just 1 short week's time, one of the architects of the Abbey Gate explosion that killed 13 of our service members. We did that in 1 week, flying through multiple countries and going into Pakistan and utilizing our liaison relationships and the leverage that we have, thanks to great guys like Johnny Ratcliffe, and getting a modicum of justice to the American people. And just to put that in perspective, those folks have been on the run for 4 years. And in the last 12 months before I got into this seat, Trey, do you know how many top 10 FBI's most wanted were arrested by the FBI? 0. That's the difference. Yeah. 4 weeks in, we got 3, and we're just warming up.
Just warming up. Yeah, the party's just getting started here. While I was at the White House, President Trump honored the 250th anniversary of the Patrick Henry speech.
The second, give me liberty or give me death. I signed a proclamation a few moments ago honoring the 250th anniversary of Patrick Henry's famous speech to the Second Virginia Convention, in which he declared very well-known, very famous words, give me liberty or give me death. Has anyone heard the phrase? I think most of you have.
I think most of us have, for sure. Benny Johnson tweeting out that Florida gas prices are the lowest in over a year. Florida gas prices dropped to lows not seen in more than a year. Here we have more Caroline Levitt posting this 10 hours ago. More investments, more jobs, and more money in the pockets of hardworking Americans, all thanks to President Trump's economic policies. President Trump is making America wealthy again. She was tweeting this article from CNBC. South Korea's Hyundai to announce $20 billion investment. That's huge. And here is more on that Hyundai investment, announcing the $20 billion this is the CNBC report.
And Kia car. South Korean auto giant Hyundai will announce a $20 billion investment in the United States when its chairman visits the White House today. Sources say that pledge includes $5 billion set for a steel plant in Louisiana, with plans to hire 1,500 employees and produce next-generation steel for Hyundai and Kia cars. That move comes after similar investment commitments from SoftBank and chipmaker Taiwan Semiconductor earlier this year.
Yep. The investments and the money is starting to come into this country because Donald Trump's foreign policy and tariffs are forcing them to. Here we have more. This was at the cabinet meeting today, talking about companies moving to the United States. Listen.
Many had a very, very good cabinet meeting. We're on our way to some tremendous numbers. I think, first of all, many companies are now moving into the United States. They're coming back. Some of them left us from many years ago, decades ago, and they're all coming back. We have probably identified maybe $4 trillion worth of companies moving back or going to move back. Many of them have announced it's going to be tremendous jobs, high-paying jobs, too. And you probably know the chip business, not because of the CHIPS Act, which was a disaster. You gave billions of dollars to companies that already have many billions of dollars. They said, thank you very much. It was no incentive for them to use it. But what is good is the tariffs will make it so that they want to come back. That's why they're coming back. I think they're coming back because of the election that took place on November 5th and because of the fact that they have to come back because the tariffs are forcing them to come back. And remember, there are no tariffs if you build here, and that's a big factor. So we have record numbers. Howard was just telling me the numbers that we're talking about are crazy, beyond anybody's wildest expectation. So they'll be doing a lot of building, all sorts of businesses, including the basics of automobiles. We have, as you know, Honda is coming in with a massive plant to Indiana. But there are many plants that are happening, and literally some are started already. General Motors is already redoing plants that were half abandoned, or they have plants that weren't being fully utilized. They're going to be they and others are going to be making parts and other things in those plants so that it's one-stop shopping finally. It's ridiculous. You had to go to Mexico. You had to go to Canada. A car went all over the place. It was like, I don't know how that would have worked, but that's the way it sort of ended up. We had a deal, and we have a deal, which is fine, but people took advantage of the deal. They cheated. And when you cheat, the deals are unfortunate. But now what's happening is the numbers are beyond our wildest expectations.
Beyond our wildest expectations. Isn't that awesome? This is what winning looks like, my friends. And it's certainly cause for celebration. We've gotten this, too. 11 hours ago, Rolls-Royce plans to shift production to U.S. to avoid President Trump's tariffs. Rolls-Royces built in the United States. What do you think about that? And then George Beasy tweeting, a federal judge, Lee Rosenthal, just issued an order blocking Texas A&M University from canceling a drag show on campus because, according to Trump's executive order, cannot override First Amendment protections. Nothing in the draggy land performance offends the executive order. The board cites no male performer in the drag show is stating an intent to become a woman, nor does the board point to evidence. Okay, yeah, so that's the judge who decided to do that. Here we have this. Mila Joy writes, a CNN cameraman admits to being part of the cabal trying to overthrow Trump while secretly being filmed. What?
I don't care about the other stuff in the event. Okay? I don't care about them. Let's just stay very focused on impeachment.
My name is Kerry Porch. I'm a satellite uplink technician. I'm a contractor at the CNN Washington, D.C. Bureau.
But Jeff Zucker, basically president of CNN, has a personal vendetta against Trump. It's not going to be positive for Trump. He hates him. He's going to be negative.
I decided to wear a hidden camera. I decided to secretly record the 9 a.m. rundown call meetings, and it's basically run by Jeff Zucker, the president of CNN.
We're moving towards impeachment. I mean, don't, we shouldn't pretend, this is going one way, and so all these moves are moves towards impeachment.
When I came to work at CNN, I mean, it was my dream job, and that dream actually just turned into a nightmare.
So I just want to say on the Instagram front, I know that there's a lot of people at CNN that are friendly with Instagram. Time to knock that off, and it's time to call them out. And I think what's going on in America now is really fundamentally the result of years of fake news, conspiracy, nonsense from Fox News.
Now, this is really old. I remember when Kerry came out with this explosive revelations. And of course, Jeff Zucker, he's out at CNN, so he's no longer a threat. But of course, the fake news persists, and that's exactly why we exist, is to push back against all those narratives and to celebrate these moments like we saw today in the East Room, celebrating Greek heritage, and to celebrate all these wins of manufacturing coming back to the United States and push back against people like Elie Mystal, right? That's why we're here. So this celebration exemplifies Trump's multi-dimensional approach to leadership, honoring traditions while securing America's economic future. While celebrating Greek independence, he simultaneously orchestrated economic victories that have liberals in absolute panic mode. Commerce Secretary Lutnick's announcement of American Liberation Day signals that globalist submission is over. Meanwhile, Chief Zeldin has canceled over $22 billion in wasteful contracts, including $2 billion that went to Stacey Abrams' NGO. So the question is, will America embrace this new era of economic sovereignty and cultural pride, or allow the globalists to regain control? And you can celebrate American excellence with some Next News gear at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Wear your patriotism with the same boldness that Trump displays on the world stage. It's linked below. All right. That was awesome. Okay, we have so much more to get into. In fact, yeah, a lot more. Let's keep going. We need to talk about the Doge. We need to get into this because it's very important. You know how much I love Doge, and I'm not happy with what I'm seeing the leftists do to Elon Musk. And that's, again, why this network exists, because we have to push back on these narratives. Okay, let's continue. The left's fear of Elon Musk has escalated from rhetoric to dangerous action. Suspicious devices discovered at a Tesla dealership in North Austin yesterday, prompting the deployment of the APD bomb squad. Reports indicate liberals are now calling SWAT teams on Tesla owners' homes, falsely claiming violent crimes are occurring. A deadly swatting tactic that could get innocent Americans killed. So why the escalation? Well, Musk appeared at Trump's cabinet meeting wearing a Trump was right about everything hat, and he's systematically exposing billions in fraudulent payments. When you take away the people's money they receive fraudulently, they get upset and they basically want to kill me. That's what Musk stated. Evidence shows these anti-Tesla protests are bankrolled by Democrat donors and NGOs, revealing a coordinated campaign against Musk's alliance with Donald Trump. And the attacks on Elon Musk have one clear purpose: silence anyone challenging the corrupt establishment. The left fears his vision for America just like they fear anyone exposing their lies. And speaking of exposures, let me tell you about another truth they don't want out. Most pain solutions are ineffective Band-Aids. If you're in constant pain, like many patriots fighting the good fight, you need to know about Dr. Josh's turmeric hack that's 200 times more powerful than regular turmeric. The special extract attacks inflammation at the source, turning off pain like a switch. After helping hundreds of thousands break free from constant aches, Dr. Josh's method is now available to everyone. No more expensive surgeries or ineffective medications. Learn about this revolutionary approach at goldenrevive.com/NNN. You will find the link down in the description. Okay, so Elon Musk, Donald Trump, of course, making waves. And we have this video. It's making the rounds. Elon Musk walking up the steps of Air Force One and doing his best to be a gentleman and looking the other way for obvious reasons. I mean, this clip has gone viral all over the web, and bless his heart, Elon Musk doing his best to be a gentleman there. There's President Trump and, of course, Elon walking up the stairs behind the press secretary. But speaking of looking the other way, we have this. We just found this. Here is Rosie O'Donnell claiming that Elon Musk owns and runs the internet. Bricksuit posting this. She goes on to insinuate that Elon funded cheating that enabled Trump to win every swing state over Kamala Harris, who was filling stadiums, right? Let's listen.
The internet.
You know, a lot of people did vote for him.
Yes.
Do you accept their right to do that and their opinion of him?
Well, I respect their right to do that. I question why the first time in American history a president has won every swing state and is also best friends, and his largest donor was a man who owns and runs the internet. So I would hope that that would be investigated and that we would see whether or not it was an anomaly or something else that happened on election night in America when Kamala Harris was filling up stadiums with people who supported her, and Donald Trump was not able to do that. So it's curious to me. And as an American and a believer in democracy, I would hope that we would be able to look at all of the reasons why this happened in our country.
Oh, man.
You know, a lot of people
she is suffering from severe Trump derangement syndrome. Of course, she has fled the country. She is self-deported to Ireland. And here we have President Trump supporting Elon and speaking to the Tesla terrorism. Elon posted this on his account to millions of people just 3 days ago. Listen.
These people are going to be, and if we don't have Elon, they could be up there a long time. Who else is going to get him? And I just want to thank him. He's going through a lot, what they're doing to him. And these people are going to be caught, and they're going to be caught, and they're going to be prosecuted. And from what they tell me, I see this just by watching your programs and reading the news, but from what they tell me, they could get 20 years in jail, and they'll get it. I'll tell you, there's going to be no leniency. There'll be no pardons. I can tell you that right now.
And you said this morning 20 years in jail, and then maybe you said this morning 20 years in jail, and then maybe they'll go to one of these prisons in El Salvador. Do you think with the way that the judges have been issuing injunctions, it would be easier or harder to send these Tesla domestic terrorists to a jail in El Salvador than these MS-13 or Trendy arrival guys?
Well, I view these people as terrorists just like others. These are, when I looked at those showrooms burning and those cars, not one or two, like 7, 8, 10 burning, exploding all over the place. These are terrorists. You didn't have that on January 6th, I can tell you. You didn't have anything like that on January 6th, which is sort of amazing because on January 6th, the Democrats were talking. Nobody was killed other than a very beautiful young woman, Ashley Babbitt. Nobody was killed. And you look at what's going on now with these terrorists. These are terrorists, and that's an organized event. You know, take a look at their signs. Take a look. They're all made by the same sign company, a nice, expensive job. Now, these are the people that finance it are, in my opinion, in just as big a trouble as the people that are setting the match and setting the fires. So we'll see. It's under very serious investigation by the FBI and by the Justice Department. These people are terrorists.
I mean, just follow the money. Okay, Doge is cutting off their funding, and they are freaking out, and that's why they're lashing out in this manner. Here's Elon Musk talking about when you take away the people's money.
Upset. It turns out when you take away people's, what the money they're receiving fraudulently, they get very upset, and they basically want to kill me because I'm stopping their fraud, and they want to hurt Tesla because we're stopping this terrible waste and corruption in the government. And well, I guess they're bad people. Bad people will do bad things.
But you know what else is interesting? Here's where I hate to even frame it like this, but the joke's really on them. Because I found this clip, and I honestly didn't even know this. But now you're going to learn something. Here's Elon wearing the hat. Trump was right about everything. He's wearing that at the cabinet meeting. Like, dude. And here we have, look at this. Here's the stock numbers for Tesla shooting up just like his rocket ships, right? Boom. From like 240 all the way to 270. That was just 9 hours ago. Remember when Tim Walz said this?
If you want saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So, and if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, you know, and take out, just telling you. Saying on my phone, I don't know this on the iPhone.
He's actually come out and said, "Oh, I was just joking around. I was just kidding." Yeah, but look at Tesla stock now. Who's laughing now, buddy? 225 and dropping. Yeah, it looks like it was an upward trend, and it continues. Okay, so here's where the joke really is. Elon Musk, Paul Zapula writing, Elon Musk only owns 12% of Tesla. Do the people going to jail for attacking Tesla actually realize this? Listen to this guy.
12% of Tesla. So the people that are, trying to disrupt the Tesla business in hopes of hurting Elon Musk because of everything that he's doing with Doge, it's amusing because when you do a little bit of research, Elon only owns 12% of Tesla. So even if these guys are successful, they're not going to hurt Elon all that much. The guy owns multiple businesses. You're not going to hurt him. And in trying to protest outside the Tesla showrooms, again, he owns only 12%. You're hurting majority of the other, retail investors and the other hedge funds that own the company. He's not the majority shareholder. You're not going to hurt him, right? So it's the idea of standing outside, trying to harass a company in hopes of hurting one of the minority shareholders. He's not even the majority shareholder there. So the people.
And think about the hedge funds too. Those guys have lots of money to play with, lots of connections. I'm sure they're making phone calls to all the radical left wings people out there. And speaking of radical left wing, Tommy Lahren posted this. This chick attended private schools that cost tens of thousands of dollars, but she's still dumb as a rock. She makes AOC look like Aristotle. Talk about Jasmine Crockett. Yeah.
That and so I'm excited to see that Elon Musk that his money as it relates to Tesla, Tesla's tanking right now, and I'm okay with that. And so I'm excited.
Yeah, so she's excited, sure, and so is this guy, spray painting fascist on the side of a Cybertruck. Yeah, I don't quite know what to make of this person's attire or why somebody would wear anything like that, but it's a terrifying visual. Continuing with, so this was 24 hours ago. There were protests and counter protests over the weekend. I mean, therefore I am posting. This is how it's done. A veteran, along with a group of patriots, organized a counter protest against Elon Musk and Tesla haters in front of a Tesla dealership.
We are. Hey, TikTok, all my mega maniacs out there. Look at this line of dipshits. Look at this line of dipshits. They came here this morning thinking they were going to get in front of Tesla and take over, but none of these assholes can get out of bed before 10 o'clock. So here we are. We took over the side of the street in front of the great Tesla store in Westmont, Illinois. We may not be the biggest crowd, but we're awesome. We are awesome. We got here at 10 o'clock this morning, 9:45 to make sure they couldn't line up in front of the store. We were actually thanked by the managers and the salespeople inside Tesla in Ogden, Lincoln. So if you're looking to buy a car, come out and support Westmont Tesla, Westmont, Ogden, Lincoln. They're great people. They're Trump supporters. They like what Elon Musk is doing.
I mean, shout out to my Illinois peeps in Westmont for holding this rally, holding it down for Elon.
George, join us. We're going to be in Orland Park next week on 159th in front of the Orland Park Tesla. Next week, they're calling for a day of violence and action against 500 Tesla dealers. We're going to show up and support Tesla and make sure they don't touch any Teslas. Look at it. I want you to notice something. I want you to notice something about this pro-American liberal group. As I zoom in.
Not pro-American.
Oh, that's why I'm insulting them. As I zoom in, these pro-Americans, they don't have one American flag. Although I did see one sign supporting the Ukraine, but I bet they wouldn't send their kids or grandchildren to put the boots on like I did for 20 years. I guarantee you they won't, because they're a bunch of cowards. They'd probably send their kids to Canada. Come on out, join us. Westmont Tesla, Ogden Avenue, 50 West Ogden Avenue, Westmont, Illinois. If you love Trump, you love this country, you love Doge, you love what Elon Musk is doing, come on out. We're here till about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Whenever the dipshits leave, we'll leave.
Shout out to my Illinois Patriots. And speaking of Patriots, we got this, President Trump talking about privatizing the economy.
We're going to
This is at the
under your direction.
I'm sorry, this is Secretary Scott Bessent. Pardon me. This is at today's cabinet meeting.
We're reprivatizing the economy. We're bringing down government spending. We're bringing down excess employment in the government sector. On the other side, we're going to re-leverage the banking system. We're going to have all the new manufacturing jobs, so everyone who's laid off from the government will have an opportunity to go into the private sector, and that is going to lead to disinflation. Inflation is under control. We're going to get the affordability crisis fixed. So lower energy, deregulation, more private sector jobs that will naturally get interest rates down. Interest rates down. Mortgage rates are down almost every week since January 20th. The energy costs are down about 15%. Crude oil's down about 15%. And as we keep that going, interest rates are going to keep declining. It'll be good for mortgages. It'll be good for credit card debt. It'll be great for auto loans. We are under your direction.
Oh, yes. The economy is roaring back. Here's another one from Secretary Rollins about canceling a contract in New York.
On certainly. Let me just add to that, and thank you. We just had a wonderful cabinet meeting, all aligned on certainly the effort to realign the government. But even at the U.S. Department of Agriculture, we've canceled a $300,000 contract educating on food justice for queer and transgender farmers in San Francisco. A similar contract we canceled in New York, again, educating transgender and queer farmers on food justice and food equality. I'm not even sure what that means, but apparently the last administration wanted to put our taxpayer dollars towards that. We canceled a $600,000 contract out of Louisiana that was studying the menstrual cycles of transgender men, a $600,000 contract. We canceled another contract out of a university in the middle of the country that focused on getting more diversity, equity, and inclusion into our pest management industry. Again, these are nonsensical. It makes zero sense to use taxpayer dollars to fund these. I know these are just a few examples of the hundreds and hundreds that we have found.
Well, Doge at work right there. You're seeing it happen. And so is this guy. He's working hard to paint fascists on the side of that Cybertruck. But only 20, they don't even realize they're not hurting Elon Musk. He is diversified. He is rock solid. He only owns 12% of Tesla. Yeah, it's painful to watch, but I think the hedge fund managers are probably more pissed off than Elon. Here we have suspicious devices found at a Tesla dealership in North Austin. Austin police reported officers were dispatched to a call 8:04 a.m. at Tesla dealership, Highway Service Road. Bomb squad was called in. Look at that. I mean, they are suspicious devices. Bomb squads are being called in. And speaking of canceling contracts with Doge, here's more from EPA Secretary Lee Zeldin. The EPA has now canceled over $22 billion worth of contracts.
Give them $2 billion. The direct EPA has now canceled over $22 billion worth of contracts. $2 billion going to this NGO that Stacey Abrams was tied to. They received only $100 in 2023. And then the Biden administration gave them $2 billion. The director of the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund saw his former employer get $5 billion. So $20 billion went to just 8 NGOs, and they're all pass-throughs. And then they were giving it to other entities. Many of them were pass-throughs. And what you have is all these extra middlemen, they're taking their cut. And the taxpayer ends up getting screwed. They're losing out on all this hard-earned money. They can't afford to have the federal government waste. The partnership with Doge and Elon Musk has been incredible at EPA. Their team is very talented. We wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And of course, this mandate from President Trump to make sure that we identify every last penny, whether we're saving $50,000, $5 million, or $22 billion. We will not rest until every last penny is saved. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to do this for the American public.
Yep. The Doge boys are in action in every single bureaucracy of the government, and it's beautiful to watch. It's really sad, though, to see all these people who are attacking Elon Musk. Here's more. Liberals are calling SWAT teams on Tesla owners' homes, falsely claiming violent crime is occurring in hopes of getting them killed. This is unreal.
The White House. Meanwhile, there have also been swatting incidents where somebody calls the cops to claim a serious crime is going down at a Tesla owner's house, so a SWAT team shows up ready for action. God forbid somebody gets seriously injured or killed in that circumstance. The White House treating anti-Tesla criminals as domestic terror. It raises an interesting legal question. What does that actually entail? Because while the Patriot Act defines the phrase domestic terrorism, it's not a crime in and of itself. Defendants in federal court have to be charged with something else. So maybe we need to rethink the idea of a hate crime, expand the definition. It's a federal charge, already has some overlap with domestic terror. A hate crime requires not just a standard level of criminal offense like arson or vandalism, but also has to be motivated by a bias against a civil rights category, such as race or gender, religion, sexuality. Why not add one's political persuasion to the list? Hate crime laws exist to aid groups that feel they're being targeted. Why should anyone have to fear because they voted for a particular candidate or even bought a particular car? People on the left who bought Teslas when they thought it was cool and now hate Musk and can't find a buyer, they might be the next victim, after all. In truth, I have questions about hate crimes because to me, every crime has an element of hate in it. But if we're going to have hate crimes on the books, and we most certainly do have them, this is one that should probably make the list. Got to fight fire with fire in this circumstance. Voting is a basic civil right. And the people who want to send a message through criminal acts designed to attack along political lines, they've got to be answered firmly. Treating them as everyday criminals misses the danger that such people represent to a free society and democracy.
You know, it's insane. I've got some clips. Maybe you've seen some of this stuff. Check this out. Tesla owners of Silicon Valley posted this. Okay, here's the guy. He's caught on camera. See, that's how stupid these people are. You activate Sentry mode on any Tesla, and all the cameras are activated at any sign of disruption. And these idiots are going through, and they are keying Teslas all over the country. I mean, there's the guy right there. There he is getting into his car, trying to get away. And they found out where the action took place. Oh, but he's not alone. Here's another one. This guy drove up next to a Tesla just to key it and drove away in California. Now he's infamous on X. Watch this. Okay, pulling up. I mean, clearly the license plate is in full display. The camera's catching his face. Inspecting his surroundings. Just pulling up to a Tesla. For what? Only to be caught on camera and later to be convicted of a crime. Why? Because Elon Musk is exposing the waste and the fraud and the abuse. Look at there he goes. Oh, didn't get it right. Look at that. Just keying the car right there in a parking garage. California was the scene of that crime. Unbelievable. And then he decides to drive away. Look at that. Pulls in, keys the car, drives away, caught on camera, and now he is infamous. Here is, they wrote this. This guy wants to go to prison. Anyone who knows this man, contact your local FBI or authorities. And then they post the license plate of the crime in action. Here's the guy. Here's his face. Not sure exactly what is the status of this, but that was the guy. But if you hate Doge, you can thank Obama. Jack Lombardi posted this 24 hours ago. Obama's failed Obamacare website launch is why we have Doge. Credit where credit's due. Trump and Musk just turned Obama's forgotten USDS into the Doge juggernaut, and it is glorious. Back in 2014, Barack Obama birthed this thing to bandage the Obamacare website train wreck. United States Digital Service, a bureaucratic IT patch job. Fast forward, 2025, Trump slaps a new label on it. United States Doge Service keeps the funding and flips the mission. Find the receipts. Legally bulletproof because it's Obama's baby, already humming along under 5 USC 3161 and 44 USC Chapter 35. Embedded teams in every single agency, full data access, and not a damn thing Congress or the DOJ can do without rewriting the rule book. Obama built the perfect deep state skeleton key, and Trump just picked the lock. Sorry, libs. Your guy teed this up. Checkmate. Yeah. Did you know that? That's a fact. Speaking of facts, we have the Commerce Secretary talking about what's about to happen on April 2nd. Check this out.
What is so exciting is April 2nd is just around the corner, and that's American Liberation Day. That's the day when the rest of the world starts to treat America with respect. And your leadership, understanding how the rest of the world treats us, and what balance and what fair trade finally is going to be, is going to take care of America. It's going to launch the External Revenue Service to start to build the power and prestige of America back. And I'm honored to be helping you on that course.
Let's go. The External Revenue Service is about to take root. And of course, we all hope and pray that this dismantles the IRS, because that is ultimately what Howard Lutnick wants to happen. And, you know, they've already suspended, like, what was it, like 30 or 40,000 IRS agents? Amazing. Okay, so what's going on with this guy? Dylan Loomis said, this is exactly what I've been talking about. This man has asked one simple question. What has Elon done that really bothers you? His answer is hilarious. Just more proof these people are brainwashed and fed narratives with zero understanding of anything that's actually happening.
Do I want to get Elon Musk out of politics? Yeah, the world's richest man, the most influential in history, is now calling the shots.
What has he done that really bothers you?
He's arrogant, drugged up, naive.
60 years, USAID, billions of dollars. Do you think it made an impact in the world?
You know, do I want to get Elon Musk out of politics? Yeah.
Yeah, see, when confronted with actual questions, these people have no answers. Here's another video that's going viral. Elon Musk and Caroline Levitt didn't know what to make of the situation. The memes were hilarious. Elon Musk, and it looks like, I think he's at Bedminster here after they landed. And he's balancing forks on his finger in this strange configuration. I have another video of that here. Speaking of which, this is what Elon Musk's office looks like. That's his office at the Doge headquarters. I was told personally by individuals in the White House that Elon Musk literally sleeps on the floor in the executive office building. Because after I saw him get off the Marine One the other day with Donald Trump, and I'm like, well, where does the guy sleep? Does he sleep in like the Lincoln bedroom or something? And they said, no, he sleeps like on a cot in the executive office building, along with all the Doge boys. Okay, we have some more. Here's some anti-Tesla protesters in Ottawa said Elon Musk's role in Doge was one of the main reasons for the protests against Tesla. They couldn't explain why Doge was evil, though.
They like Trump.
Excuse me, sir, did you just call me a Nazi?
I made a general statement.
It's hard to be a Nazi minority. It's easy to watch TV and be brainwashed into feeling things.
It sure is.
Yeah, do you have your own opinions?
MAGA.
Do you have your own opinions about stuff? Yeah, that's you for sure. You're out here protesting Tesla in Canada, dude. What do you think you're accomplishing?
I'm an American citizen, actually.
No.
I am.
You're doing what?
I'm an American citizen, so I'm protesting where I live.
So you're protesting where you live. Why don't you go back to the U.S. and protest there then?
I'm a dual citizen, and I plan on going back. So I'm on vacation next week.
All right, go back. Yeah. Why are you here in Canada?
You're going back to where I came from.
You're going back to the U.S. Why are you protesting Tesla in Canada?
Because Tesla sucks everywhere.
Oh, well, did it suck 2 years ago when everyone was big fans of it? They loved driving Teslas. Everyone was pushing for Teslas. Now all of a sudden it's not good?
You know what?
They were bringing in the e-revolution. There was EVs.
Yeah,
everyone loved Tesla. And all of a sudden you don't like them anymore?
Because he's a Nazi now.
Because they like Trump.
Why do you love Elon?
Why do I love Elon? I'm asking you, sir.
Yeah,
you're out here protesting Tesla in Ottawa. What are you hoping to accomplish?
To send a message to Tesla, their stockholders, their potential customers, that this is bad. People do not want to be
What is bad?
What is bad?
Yes.
What is bad?
Yes.
What is Elon Musk doing that is bad?
Sure, go ahead.
Doge?
Doge is bad. How is Doge bad?
Horrible.
How?
Doge is horrible.
Because they cut off USAID funding?
Really? People have died because of that.
Because they've cut off USAID funding? Is that why? Like, why?
There's that. There's that. That's it. People have died.
Who has died? Who has died?
Like they're in Africa.
Why is it the U.S.'s job to take care of the world, first of all? And second of all, how can you guarantee that money's not going to left-wing NGOs? Is that what you're about?
Fuck if it goes left-wing NGOs.
Of course you don't, because that's what you want. That's what you want from it. You're not about, like, funding and helping people in Africa. You're about funding left-wing causes. There's a lot of back payments going to people through USAID. All right? That's why.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of good. Does that cancel out all the backroom deals that they're making? That they're sliding to these NGOs?
Talk about backroom deals for Trump?
Go ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's
talk about backroom. Okay, what is it? Give me some. Give me some backroom Trump deals.
Let's see. How about like billionaires?
Yeah, don't talk to them. You're going to make yourself.
Support of Trump buying off Supreme Court judges. That's a backroom deal.
Buying off who?
Who?
Yeah, like who did they buy off? How? Amy Coney Barrett? What you're saying?
Are you familiar with the camper?
The what?
The camper. The huge bus.
So they have a bus, and that means that they're buying judges? Is that what you're talking about?
I'll tell you what. I need you to give me a little bit of
we're not in it,
move over here. I prefer if you did not.
Yeah, okay. You can't justify why you're here. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about. Elbows up, man. Wait for the TV to tell you the next line, I guess.
Man, that guy was totally clueless. Absolutely clueless. But you know who's not clueless is Donald Trump and Elon Musk, because they're turning Obama's baby into their weapon of destruction to destroy the bureaucracy. And you got Canadians out in the street that have no clue what they're even talking about. I want to get to that clip that I was talking about. This is another angle. Okay, we got this one too. Tesla protests. Okay, I'm going to find the clip, the other clip of Elon with the forks. But here's more. Wall Street Apes posting, Elon Musk Tesla protesters are paid. Watch as these protesters pick through a pile of pre-made signs provided to them. This is all being funded by Democrat donors and activist NGO groups. We demand investigations and accountability into the money trail. Yeah, you can see them. They're picking through the signs. Which sign do I pick today? All pre-made. AstroTurf, fake funded protesters, probably all getting paid to stand out there. You know, we've played video of other protesters who have been paid and admitted it, that they're getting paid to stand out there. But this is all manufactured by the NGOs. Where's that video? I had another video here of Elon. But we have this. This is Tesla owners in Colorado threatened vandalism forces families to stop driving at night over Elon and Doge attacks. This is terrorism, changing how people live. Locals warn as radical leftists target American-made Teslas to punish Elon's success. This is from Real America's Voice. Check it out.
themselves. A resident here in Colorado, his name is Mark Blum, he says that he and his wife won't even drive their Tesla at night now because of the recent vandalism and threats. By definition, one of the things that takes something to terrorism is the fact that it changes people's lifestyles. It forces a lifestyle change. And that's what we're starting to see with all these attacks on Tesla owners and the Teslas themselves.
No, that's right, Terrence. And the thing is, Teslas are great cars, right? I'll never forget the first time I rode in one, and my brother floors it, and it felt like I was on a roller coaster. These are fantastic cars. They're a testament to American ingenuity, right? And that is ultimately why they're attacking it. It's because it's an American company led by an American CEO who really does want to save this country. If you look at the cuts that Doge is recommending, there's not a single cut that is not, there's not a single expenditure that's defensible, right? Every cut is 100% justified, and it shouldn't have these expenses never should have happened in the first place. But these Teslas are fantastic cars. I recommend not hiding. We can't bend a knee. I recommend people buy one. You'll find out just how cool they are and why so many people bought them. It's just so ironic, though, that Elon Musk started this as an environmental thing, right? He wanted to get cars up to speed and also, make sure they weren't causing that much more pollution. And now these guys are reacting. Whatever happened to their concerns about climate change? I guess Elon and Doge are a bigger threat to humanity than climate change, according to the left.
I think that's really interesting because I think you might have those folks who are hiding their Teslas or they're, concerned about taking them out. But I think we may see a whole new group of people buying Teslas to support Elon and support the country.
And that's in fact happening because you saw the stock just rising. Elon Musk also, did you hear this? This was 3 days ago. Federal judge takes over USAID hiring, blocking Trump's pick. Judge Theodore D. Chang barred Jeremy Lewin, a former Doge team member, from becoming deputy administrator of USAID. Instead of letting the administration make its own staffing decision, Judge Chang decided Lewin's loyalty to Trump disqualified him. Government lawyers asked for clarity. The judge flat out denied it and warned he could expand the ban if they try any workarounds. In effect, one judge is now acting as the self-appointed HR department for the federal government, and Amuse posting that Obama judge barring USAID from hiring employees previously assigned to Doge. Absolutely outrageous. And it's not going to stop, but President Trump is on the case. So much is happening in this country right now that's cause for celebration, because as more cuts occur, there are going to be more people who are going to be upset. There's going to be more protests, and there's going to be more morons out there that don't even know what they're talking about. Here we have, check this out. This is from Wall Street Apes 9 hours ago. California is at it again. FEMA's reporting they've received 270,000 applications from homeowners for the LA fires. 13,000 homes were destroyed in the wildfires. How can that even be possible? 270,000 applications. However, 13,000 homes were destroyed. Democrats have filed scores of lawsuits trying to stop Doge from eliminating fraudulent payments. Let's listen.
Scores of lawsuits. Democrats are now so far left that Chuck Schumer is their version of a dangerous right-wing extremist. Apparently, California has more fake homeowners than real ones. FEMA is reporting that they've received 270,000 applications from alleged homeowners in Los Angeles, despite the fact that only 13,000 homes were destroyed in the wildfires, which is 20 times the number of eligible applicants. Many LA residents are also reporting that they were unable to apply for FEMA relief because someone else had already applied with their name and address. Meanwhile, Democrats have filed scores of lawsuits trying to stop Doge from eliminating fraudulent payments by the government. That's because we really don't want to stop the fraud. We'd really hate for there to be money left to help the real disaster victims. Experts are baffled by the 270,000 applications. Either there's massive fraud, or LA's housing crisis is so bad that 20 families are claiming the same studio apartment. The Democrats found someone to help their party turn things around: Joe Biden. Former President Joe Biden and his wife Jill sat down with the recently elected DNC chairman to volunteer themselves for a revamped campaigning effort to help improve the party's image and boost fundraising. Since President Trump returned to the White House, public polling shows that less than 1/3 of Americans approve of the Democratic Party's performance. Biden's pitching himself as the Democratic Party's savior. That's like someone coming to your house, burning it down, and then returning a week later to see if there's anything left that's combustible. I can start another fire if I need to. Biden thinks that he can save the Democratic Party. Sure, because when you're drowning, the first thing you want is a lifeguard that's a quadriplegic. Democrats are now so far left that Chuck Schumer is there.
Yeah, that's how it's like. It's crazy. So the clip that I wanted to play for you is actually sort of an extended version of the one with him playing with the forks. Because right off to the left here, right off to the left of, right behind Elon Musk, Donald Trump is just sitting there. And Elon is just like balancing forks. It's crazy. But this is the playbook of desperate ideologues throughout history. When you can't win the debate, silence the opposition through intimidation and violence. We're witnessing the unmasking of the so-called tolerant left as they resort to terrorist attacks against a visionary who simply wants government accountability. Meanwhile, a federal judge blocked Trump's USAID Jeremy Lewin, revealing how the deep state judiciary is working overtime to obstruct the administration's reform agenda. The fundamental question facing America, and you can weigh in the comments, will we surrender to this mob intimidation or stand firm with those brave enough to challenge the corrupt establishment? Now, make sure you check out our merch shop. It's linked down below. You can join the MAG Avengers with Elon Musk and Ron Paul by grabbing a hat or a shirt or even a Next News hat as well. And wear it with pride. Shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Okay, we are not done yet. Any more super chats to speak of? Let's check in with that. No super chats apparently, but we do have Bruce Lombardo who has gifted 10 memberships. Wow, we have now 11 new members who have access to the behind-the-scenes videos that I share with you guys, and now have access to the private Discord chat room that we have set up if you guys want to hang out after hours. Here, it's pretty wild in there sometimes. And, okay, so Steve, Darren, Denise, Raymond, Devil Ghost, Jeffrey, Beyond Dark, Texas Gal, Jay Water, Harvey's Hooligans, all now members, gifted members. And then we have Lisa Norris, who has just become a member as well. Welcome to the family, Lisa. And we have Craig dropping $5. He says, welcome back, Gary. Thank you for all of your hard work. Oh, yes. Thank you guys for supporting our mission and joining the effort to keep America great in this time. Oh, and then our Boyd just dropping $5. What's up, our Boyd? Thank you for that. What do we got here? We got our Boyd wants to make sure everyone smashes the like button and show Gary the love. Not just the like button, but the share button too. Very important. Copy the link. If you're watching on mobile, copy the link and text the show out so we can bypass the algorithm. This is the best way to do so. And also, Bruce dropping $10. What's up, Bruce? Thank you for that. Appreciate the $10. And we are not done. So let's continue with the show because the show must go on, right? Sure, you smash it so it's flat. Thanks for you. All right. Let's get into the next topic here. We have, this is some controversy. This is some controversy that's brewing. Okay. Let's find out what is going on. Now, the world is buzzing about America potentially joining the British Commonwealth. But that's just the surface of a much deeper geopolitical chess match. Well, Alex Jones emphatically rejected the idea, tweeting that the answer to 1984 is 1776. Others suggest it could be a strategic alliance. Well, the real story, the controversy masked Trump's bold move in Greenland, where Vance and National Security Advisor Walz have been dispatched on a high-stakes mission. Greenland's prime minister called it very aggressive American pressure. As reports indicate, the U.S. may take more territorial interest in the resource-rich island. Simultaneously, Donald Trump announced a rare earths deal with Ukraine that directly challenges China's dominance. It's not random. It's a coordinated strategy to secure America's resource independence and global leverage. In the Commonwealth debate, likely a brilliant distraction. Now, as Trump reshapes America's global strategy and secures vital resources like Greenland's rare earth minerals, citizens everywhere are feeling a new sense of security. But for many Americans suffering daily pain, national security means nothing without personal relief. That's why top medical experts have unveiled cancellations, the only natural solution that optimizes your body's endorphins for complete pain relief without drugs. While the government secured global resources, over 1 million Americans, including professional UFC fighters, have discovered this revolutionary compound. After 14 years of clinical research, cancellations has proven both safe and effective with no side effects, grogginess, or addiction potential. Try it risk-free for 90 days at trycano.com/NNN. It's linked down below. Experience daily pain relief. You have nothing to lose but your pain. So we've got some interesting information here. Alex Jones posting exclusive Trump confident. Roger Stone says there's no way President Trump is going to join the UK Commonwealth being proposed by King Charles.
Hey, look, I don't speak for the president, obviously, but I think he's trolling. I think he's just being nice. He clearly understands what 1776 was all about. I will ask him about that when I speak to him or when I see him, but I really don't see this happening. That's just my opinion. Look.
Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? Sorry. Oh, here.
As far as Prince Charles is concerned, if he wants to send me any of his hand-me-down clothes, I'd take them. Other than that, I don't like his political views, and I think the idea of joining the Commonwealth of the United States is a terrible idea.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. People get very concerned. Here we have this. I hope President Trump is trolling. There's no way Americans will stand for this setup again. Commonwealth, literally UN 2.0. We don't want to be suckered in the socialist BS again, where these UN goals and DEI principles follow us. Trump embraces, this is the headline, Trump embraces rumor of U.S. joining Commonwealth. I love King Charles. And here we have, this is the Commonwealth working with member countries to promote democracy. Yeah, sure. The Commonwealth. Let's keep digging deeper. Here is the thread that Alex posts. He said, I got a message for Donald Trump. If you really try to make America join the British Commonwealth, 1776 will commence again. Americans everywhere are shocked by Trump's announcement that he may attempt to put King Charles at the head of the United States of America. Von Allen America says, chill out. It's a ceremonial thing, just part of the historical Commonwealth countries that are tied to England in some way. Alex saying, no, it is not. Here we have more. This is a selfie video he shot.
The secret message that Trump came out yesterday in response to Keir Starmer announcing the news that the secret message that King Charles is going to bring next week to President Trump at the White House is an invite to be a member of the British Commonwealth, an associate member. And I posted a video saying this is just outrageous. Now, it doesn't mean Trump has done it, but the fact that Trump said he would be open to it is outrageous, ladies and gentlemen. Being an associate member isn't just ceremonial. I have covered these Commonwealths, and the fact is that means you're affiliated with the British Empire and that the sovereign head of that is the King of England. On top of that, the UK is the center of really the globalist system and has been running attacks on America, on Trump, trying to keep the Ukraine war going. They're directing the whole thing. So it's disgusting. And then King Charles wants carbon taxes, world government. He's a huge WF globalist. So America is 1776. America was founded getting independence from King George III. And I can understand that Trump wants an alliance against China. We already have that supposedly with the UK because they have interest in their Commonwealth in New Zealand and in Australia and to some extent Taiwan. So Trump understands China is the main threat. My point is that I'm all for Canada being the 51st unofficial state economically. We have a $200 billion a year trade deficit. They depend on us. Free trade with them would be much better. They have 300% tariffs on a lot of our products like dairy, poultry, milk, eggs. I mean, it is just absolutely out of control. So major alliances are shifting. The EU is collapsing. They're now allied with China. The globalists were double-crossed by China 15 years ago. This is a long process of the globalist system falling. And the British Empire remnants on record in mainline PhD-level political science textbooks will tell you that after World War II, we really officially merged a lot of our operations with the UK. And the UK is a tyranny. They're destroying their own sovereignty. My God, it's run by pedophiles. Keir Starmer is the top pedophile protector when he ran.
Wow. So Alex is on fire. But we have more. This person, Tom Luongo, says this whole join the Commonwealth is classic British agitprop to create something for us to argue about, created out of nothing. Trump did not agree to hold those talks. Trump said nice things about being invited by the king, and the Sun made some stuff up about it 2 weeks later. American Susie Q, I can't imagine Trump wanted to join the British Commonwealth. It's not compatible with our constitutional republic. We won't agree to a constitutional monarchy. And here is RTSG News. This is 24 hours ago. Donald Trump wants America to join the British. This is what they're declaring. Donald Trump wants to join the British Commonwealth. Listen to this. Oh, is there anything here? Oh, it's just music. Donald Trump expressed interest in the U.S. joining the British Commonwealth after King Charles invited him. Commonwealth countries consider British king to be their sovereign, including Canada, South Africa, Australia, and others. If Trump were to accept Charles' offer, it would be the first time in nearly 300 years the British would have had this. I love King Charles, Trump wrote on Truth Social Friday morning, while linking to an article citing a report that the monarch would secretly offer the U.S. membership in the Commonwealth during Trump's visit to England. So that's what people are talking about right now. People are obviously very concerned if that were to even happen. I don't know what, I mean, I'll let you guys battle this one out in the comments. I don't think Trump would ever consider joining the Commonwealth. I would be very shocked if he did. But we have more. Let's continue moving over to Greenland, because Greenland's prime minister criticized the upcoming visit of the second lady and White House National Security Advisor Mike Waltz to the island, calling it very aggressive American pressure. He said, until recently, we could trust the Americans who are our allies and friends with whom we enjoyed working closely, but that time is over. We'll see how that plays out. Here's Vice President Vance saying Denmark isn't doing their job in controlling Greenland and is not being a good ally. This was posted 12 hours ago.
It's not being a good Denmark, which controls Greenland, it's not doing its job and it's not being a good ally. So you have to ask yourself, how are we going to solve that problem, solve our own national security? If that means that we need to take more territorial interest in Greenland, that is what President Trump is going to do, because he doesn't care about what the Europeans scream at us. He cares about putting the interests of America's citizens first.
And that's what needs to happen. Here's Peter Clack. Global warming has vanished from the climate radar. The study of Greenland's ice confirms that for 160 years there was no change. The same in Antarctica. The Arctic has been stable for a century, and it's all a big swindle. Yeah, pretty stable temperatures there. Here is the second lady getting ready to go to Greenland. Check this out.
Hello. I'm so excited to share that I'll be visiting Kalaalleq, Greenland, next weekend. I'm particularly thrilled to visit during your National Dog Sled Race, which our country is proud to support as a sponsor. I've been reading all about it with my children, and I'm amazed by the incredible skill and teamwork that it takes to participate in this race. I'm also coming to celebrate the long history of mutual respect and cooperation between our nations, and to express hope that our relationship will only grow stronger in the coming years. I look forward to meeting many of you soon, and to learning from you about your beautiful land, culture, and traditions. See you soon. Hello. I'm so excited to share that.
So that's happening next weekend. Operation Greenland. 14 hours ago, Amuse posting this. Ahead of the U.S. takeover of the island, Trump has dispatched VP Vance and NSA Waltz to meet with the natives. U.S. Air Force cargo plane landed in Nuuk, carrying 4 U.S. government vehicles ahead of their Thursday visit. So here's some footage of that. The advance team arriving in Greenland to prepare for the visit of the Vice President, Second Lady, and Secretary Waltz. So the move to acquire Greenland is still on the table. We haven't heard much about it lately, but these are more major strategic moves as we continue to seek a way to acquire Greenland. Of course, I think that what they have to do really is the people of Greenland have to vote for it. I don't think we can just absolutely take it or annex it or something like that. It has to go through a strategic vote within the nation itself, and they have to want to join the United States. So this is still very much on the table. Let's continue. We have some more. Speaking of international developments, let's talk about Ukraine for a minute. And of course, the Abraham Accords. The vice president had this to say regarding the Abraham Accords in the cabinet meeting today.
Absolutely nothing. If you think about what happened with the Abraham Accords, one of the great diplomatic breakthroughs under the first Trump administration, really in the last 30 or 40 years of American history in the Middle East, and the Biden administration did absolutely nothing with it. Built on it, not at all, added 0 additional countries. Purely out of political spite, the Biden administration, I think, hurt the United States and really hurt the project of world peace. That has changed. Luckily, about 2 months ago, we got a new president, and that president has given us the task of building out the Abraham Accords, adding new countries to it. And really what you see is a lot of these countries that have historical, ethnic, or religious hatreds want to build. They want to build new artificial intelligence. They want to build new real estate projects. They want their citizens to become rich and prosperous and peaceful, and they're setting to the side some of those old hatreds under the leadership of President Trump. So it's early, but we made a lot of progress, and we'll keep on making progress, sir.
And the progress continues. President Trump says a rare earths deal with Ukraine has been reached and will be signed shortly. This posted just 7 hours ago. Here's Secretary Rubio. The American people should be proud we have a president.
Putting peace in the end. Yeah, Mr. President, first of all, I think the American people should be proud that we have a president that's promoting peace and the end of conflict on this planet. This is a war that's gone on for 3 years, as you pointed out, that, as you've rightly pointed out, would have never happened had you been president, but now it's here, and it needs to be brought to an end. There is no military solution to this war. It has to end through negotiation. And there's only one leader in the world that's capable of bringing two sides to a table, and that's our president, the president of the United States, President Trump. And that's what he's done. And so today, even as we speak, we have teams on the ground in Saudi Arabia meeting with the respective sides in the hopes of making progress towards this outcome that we all want to see. And I think that the country owes you a great debt of gratitude, and the world, really, because, I mean, you're the only leader in the planet that can bring the two sides together to bring an end to this conflict. And that's what you've done. And you've done it despite, impediments from other countries and others who maybe have different opinions about how this should go. But ultimately, I think that the only chance we have for peace is through the president's leadership, and you've shown that, and we hope it'll bear fruit. And today will hopefully be one step more in that direction. Yeah.
And we're heading in that direction because the masterful strategic positioning that we're witnessing is not accidental. It's the art of the deal playing out on a global scale. While the media fixates on Commonwealth rumors, Trump is executing a resource security strategy that will fundamentally alter America's geopolitical leverage. Rubio stated it perfectly. The American people should be proud that we have a president promoting peace and the end of conflict. So here is the vital question for you in the comments. Will we recognize these strategic moves for what they are, a comprehensive plan to secure America's future, or allow the media to distract us with manufactured controversies? Support our independent coverage of these critical developments with our Next News collection at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and show your understanding of this chess match that's reshaping our world, linked in the description. All right. Let's check out Super Chats and see what you guys have dropped. We are at $44 in chat revenue. Thank you guys, everyone, for chipping in tonight. $44 and 11 new members. Going to the main chat real quick, see what you guys are talking about there. The mainstream news is our enemy, says Kitsy. Heather would look cute in Gary's hat. The world's problem is my fault. I farted and the world went to hell. Thank you, Ron, for sharing that with us. A little bit of a little oversharing there. Let's see. Let's see if I could choose. It would be Rand Paul in 2028. That would be interesting. That would be super cool. Our Boyd just gifting 5 Next News Network memberships. Who were the lucky recipients? Our Boyd dropping 5. Vicky W. O'Sullivan, Barbie Kella. I don't see. Oh, here they are. Okay. And then we have Greg Smith, TX Gamma. Rebecca Maynard. Welcome to the family, everybody. Now you can go to the playlist of our exclusive members content that is slowly building up with every trip to the White House. You guys can see some of the behind the scenes stuff, which is really cool. Some of my private commentaries with you guys. And of course, you can join the Discord and you can join other members in conversations and sharing videos and links and memes and all this stuff you guys do when I'm trying to sleep at night. But definitely when I'm in DC, man, there is no sleep. It's like adrenaline pumping through your veins all day long. Okay, so let's get into the drama that is tearing apart the Democrat Party right now. Tom B420 dropping $5. Thanks, Gary N3 Army for life. Thank you, Tom B420 for that. We're at $49. Are we going to hit 50? We only need one more dollar and we'll hit $50 in super chats tonight. Who is going to put us over the top? Who will it be? Who will it be now? Who can it? Okay, sorry. All right, let's get into this next topic here. More news because there's a Democrat civil war on the brink. The Democrat Party's facade of unity has completely shattered as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer faces unprecedented calls for his resignation. Former President Obama has reportedly criticized Schumer, Pelosi, and AOC in private conversations, highlighting the disorganized shambles of current Democrat leadership. The most explosive development, Bernie Sanders' bizarre behavior during a recent interview where he attempted to walk out if asked if he'd support AOC challenging Schumer for his Senate seat. As one put it, is he that scared to piss off Schumer and his Democrat masters? Well, progressive voices are now demanding a new Democrat Tea Party, while establishment figures desperately cling to power. All this unfolds as Trump continues racking up economic wins, bringing billions in investments to America and creating thousands of jobs. The contrast couldn't be more stark. While Democrats fight amongst themselves, true American heroes like Chuck Norris focus on what really matters, staying strong enough to defend our values and our way of life. I recently saw Chuck's video, and I was shocked. At 84 years old, he's still kicking, and he's still working out. Has more energy than politicians half his age. Unlike the Democrat Party's leadership struggles, Chuck found a simple solution that keeps him feeling like he's in his 50s. His wife started doing the same thing, feels 10 years younger, more energy and leaner body. Chuck discovered he could dramatically change his health by focusing on just 3 things that sabotage our bodies as we age. His method is revolutionary, but it's simple. Watch his explanation at chuckdefense.com/next or simply click the link below this video. Learn from a true American legend. And we are happy to have Chuck Norris sponsoring the Next News Network. And speaking of sponsoring, Jake Tapper. Should AOC primary Chuck Schumer? He's asking Representative Jasmine Crockett. Listen to this.
Primary. You're close with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, then I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years if we will have elections. And so I definitely think that younger, fresher leadership may be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
How to take on the Republicans is a big topic of discussion among Democrats. Last week, you're close with Congress.
Okay. So she says, we won't know if we'll have elections in 4 years. I mean, that's the rhetoric they're spewing from the left right now. We have more. This is directly from Chuck Schumer declaring he's not stepping down after he's firing back at Pelosi.
Feeling pressure, your own party to step aside as minority leader. When asked about your future at a town hall, Senator Michael Bennet said, quote, "It's important for people to know when it's time to go." Leader Schumer, are you feeling pressure to step down?
Look, I'm not stepping down. And let me just say this, Kristen. I knew when I cast my vote against against the government shutdown that there'd be a lot of controversy, and there was. But let me tell you and your audience why I did it, why I felt it was so important. The CR was certainly bad, you know, the continuing resolution, but a shutdown would be 15 or 20 times worse. Under a shutdown, the executive branch has sole power to determine what is, quote, essential. And they can determine without any court supervision. The courts have ruled it's solely up to the executive what to shut down. With Musk and Doge and Trump and this guy Vogt, V-O-G-H-T, I think is how you spell his name, is the head of OMB, they would eviscerate the federal government. On day 2, they could say, oh, SNAP, feeding hungry children, not essential. On day 4, mass transit, all transit, aid to the states, not essential. We're cutting it. On day 6, Medicaid, we'll cut that by 20, 30, 50, 80%. We'll go after Social Security. We'll go after the veterans. Their goal is to just eviscerate the federal government so they can give more taxes, more tax cuts to their billionaire class.
Okay. Did you hear the level of fear mongering from that guy? I mean, it was outrageous. He ran down the list of, well, this is what could happen. This is what could happen. He's going to cut this. He's going to cut SNAP. He's going to cut Medicaid. He's going to cut Social Security, all these things. So all the morons who are watching Meet the Press with Schumer are being fed this steady diet of fear porn. And that's exactly what they want. They want to see the American people with lies of things that Trump would never do. And he's already stated. I mean, there was a moment the other day and in the cabinet meeting when somebody asked Trump, are you going to cut Social Security? And he set the reporter straight. He said, I'm not even going to answer the question. I've answered it a dozen times, and you shouldn't be asking me again. Because even the mainstream press continues to push these fake narratives, and they want their sound bites so they can get caught, they can be on camera. I mean, when I was in that press room last week, and I'm standing there on the side of the room, and I'm watching as the press secretary picks each person to ask a question. The same question was asked by the mainstream media multiple times. It was becoming very repetitive. And it was only so that those individual reporters in the press room could have their 5 seconds of fame on camera for that soundbite for the evening news. That's all it was. And then that same question would be repeated on all the mainstream media outlets to continue to pepper this false narrative of whatever the question was at that moment. And I'm like, I've got a question here that actually matters. Maybe you could pick me. Of course, I didn't get picked. Maybe my time will come at some point. However, but witnessing the mainstream media in action physically in that press room is a sight to behold. So let's continue. Here is AOC, who is upset with Chuck Schumer.
About progressive Democrats. I think there is a deep sense of outrage and betrayal. And this is not just about progressive Democrats. This is across the board, the entire party. Yeah. There are members of Congress who have won Trump-held districts in some of the most difficult territory in the United States, who walked the plank and took innumerable risks in order to defend the American people, in order to defend Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare, just to see Senate Democrats even consider.
You see, there she goes again, spewing the fear porn and the lies so they could defend Social Security and Medicare. See, she knows who's watching these programs. She knows that, like, all the kids, they're on social media, okay? They're on TikTok, they're on Snapchat, they're on all these other platforms, and they're not paying attention to what's happening. But the older demographic who still watches the mainstream press is being fed a steady diet of lies from the lips of people like Schumer and AOC. Let's continue.
Yesing to Elon Musk, I think it is a huge slap in the face, and I think that there's a wide sense of betrayal if things proceed as currently planned.
How will House Democrats and Senate Democrats work together now if there is such a sense of betrayal?
I think that creates a real challenge, and that in and of itself, I think, is part of what makes the leadership of this moment so crucial, because this is a decision about
the leadership of this moment. That was another talking point that they were spewing. The moment, meet the moment, meet the moment. That's what they were all saying on all the platforms. They got the Democrat talking points handed down in the memo. They hit them. They hit the airwaves and said, meet the moment. And she's, again, repeating those talking points.
Trust. It is a decision about trust and cooperation, because there will be a day where the Senate will need the House to move on something. And if there is an erosion of trust and a breach of trust, such as what is being considered right now, it will make cooperation difficult. And we cannot afford to be in an every person for themselves kind of moment. We need to work together and as a team in order to usher our country through this very dark time.
The point that Senator Schumer has kind of made is, the CR is bad, but a shutdown is worse. So how do you respond to that point?
That is, I cannot understate. I mean, I cannot underscore enough how incorrect that is. Because what this does, what voting for this CR does, is that it codifies the chaos and the reckless cuts that Elon Musk has been pursuing. The robbing of our federal government in order to finance tax cuts for billionaires is what is happening. And that is what Senate Democrats will be empowering if they vote for the CR. I think there's a deep...
Oh, man. Tax cuts for the billionaire class. Here's a Today with Tally podcast. Socialist Bernie Sanders and AOC are making millions of dollars off the backs of American socialists. They are pure genius.
For a rally. Bernie Sanders and AOC took a trip to Denver, Colorado. That's right, folks, where the legalization is really screwing up a lot of the hearts and minds of a lot of Coloradans to get them out to Capitol Hill for a rally 3 years and 10 months in advance of the presidential election. Now, what exactly were these Democratic socialists doing? They were selling T-shirts, hats, books, and whatever merchandise that they could drum up to make money off the backs of other socialists. Now, how else are you supposed to be making millions of dollars on a base salary of $174,000 a year? It seems as if you guys are always whining and complaining about things going on in Washington. But here you are, grandstanding in a state you don't even represent while complaining about the current state of our nation. Bernie Sanders and AOC took a trip to Denver, Colorado. That's right.
Man. Oh, yes. AOC holding a rally against billionaires in an arena owned by a billionaire. Kevin Smith writes, because she's an idiot.
For you, in fact, one thing I love about Arizonans is that you all have shown that if a U.S. senator isn't fighting hard enough for you, you're not afraid to replace her with one who will and win. And that's how you got two fantastic senators in Mark Kelly and Ruben Gallego.
Yeah, they stole that election too. Somebody in AOC's crowd at a rally in Colorado yelled, "Bring back," oh no, while she was talking about Elon Musk.
And oligarchs will back his campaigns and bankroll those of his allies. They scratch his back and he scratches
You heard that, right? I did. Absolutely disgraceful. That's the level these people will go. Paul Zappulo writing, well, AOC or Bernie Sanders condemn the many calls for violence by their supporters who went to the rally in Denver. Look at this guy. I don't even want to play any more of these people. These people are out of their minds. From bartender to socialist icon, AOC is no longer just a loud voice in the squad. She's now the heir apparent to Bernie's far left movement. We'll see about that. Planetary Citizen, when are you all united to call for Schumer to step down? You must show a united front, not a disorganized shamble. You saw hold rallies every weekend around the country. Trump campaigned for well over 8 years, including during his last presidency. See AOC and Sanders for tips. Here, Obama knocks Chuck Schumer, Pelosi. The response, I've reached the 2008, 2012, 2020 plan, and all presidents and speakers hold up, come out, elements in court. What? I'm not even sure what this is about. CNN, 2025, full interview, Ro Khanna discussing DOE decreasing funds. Is there a new Dem Tea Party brewing? Should AOC challenge Chuck Schumer and Steve Bannon praising him? What is this?
In districts trying to capitalize.
What are you going to do for us? And what can we do?
That's a voter who was emotional, as you just heard, about future funding for cancer research. It was at a town hall yesterday hosted by my next guest, who is campaigning in Republican districts, trying to capitalize on anger that voters are feeling. Here with me now is Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California. Thank you so much for being here. We do have a lot to get to, but I want you to talk to me for a second about education. You heard Secretary McMahon make the case that the status quo isn't working. Test scores are low. A lot of key functions in the Department of Education, like protections for students with disabilities, could be done elsewhere in the federal government. They were before the Department of Education existed. Is she wrong?
Then I would just invite Secretary McMahon to my district, because yesterday in a town hall, it came out that 92 teachers for Head Start are given the pink slip. The staff is being laid off. And this is because there's no certainty that they're going to get the funding from the Department of Education. We have asked. The Department of Education isn't giving any guarantee that the funding is going to continue. And the same uncertainty exists with Title I funding for schools in working class neighborhoods and funding for kids with disabilities. So she's saying that that funding is going to continue, but she may just not be on the ground. I welcome her to come, and I'd love for her to assure my district that those Head Start teachers not get fired.
Yeah, well, I'm sure she will be happy to come there, and we'll make sure that she gets that message. I do want to talk about what you're doing in California. You are currently in Bakersfield. If people think that is a town that sounds familiar, it is because it is the former district of former Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, but we have some more. Check this out. Here are some spring breakers who think this shows you the state of the country right now. These spring breakers think America declared independence from Spain. U.S. Pentagon is square. There are 7 U.S. senators. The Civil War was fought between East and West. Second Amendment is the right to vote, and Asia is a state that borders Canada. Caitlin Bennett, Liberty Hangout. Check this out.
Who did the colonists fight in the Revolutionary War?
Oh, God. In the Revolutionary War?
It was, I don't know if this is right. I mean, it sounds so stupid. Was it the Spanish? Wait, what are your majors?
Business. Biology.
Okay. Elementary education. Oh. What shape is the U.S. Pentagon building?
Isn't it just a square?
How many U.S. senators are there?
6, 7. 6, 7. 2 for each state.
How many amendments are in the Bill of Rights?
There's a lot. I know 17.
Who won the Civil War?
Oh, shoot. It's East or West, right?
Well, it's the Civil War, so it's the civilians versus whoever was in power. How many justices are on the Supreme Court?
Justices? Mm-hmm. So, like, when you say that, like, you mean, like, the FBI?
Who is on the $100 bill?
Oh, I know that.
Abraham Lincoln?
Nope.
Abraham Lincoln.
Come on, bro.
That's the First Amendment. What's the second?
Right to vote.
Name 3 states that border Canada. We'll just do 1 per person.
Asia.
I didn't know Canada had a border. Who did the colonists fight?
Oh, my goodness. I didn't know Canada had a border. So this Democrat implosion reveals the fundamental weakness of their coalition. It's held together by opposition to Trump, not by a cohesive vision for America. As AOC and other progressives circle Schumer like sharks, the party that once claimed moral superiority is devouring itself. I mean, look at these people here. Meanwhile, President Trump continues the methodical reconstruction of American greatness. And the contrast is breathtaking. One side consumed by infighting and identity politics, the other focused on jobs, security, and prosperity. The essential question facing voters, and for you in the comments, will America choose the path of endless progressive ideological purity tests or embrace the pragmatic results-driven approach that's already delivering tangible benefits? So show where you stand with our Next News gear. It's available at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com because actions will always speak louder than words. All right, checking into the Super Chat world right now. Let's see. Tom B420 dropping $5. We're at 66. Are we going to see 70 tonight? Are we going to crack 70? We only need $4 for that. $4. Thanks, Gary N3 Army for Life. Lisa Norris, pair character, cheerfully blowing a party horn. Thank you for that, Lisa. Marilyn Grow, hello, y'all. Dropping $10. Thank you, Marilyn. And Tony Leitner, this, I believe, is Tony's first super chat. Thank you, Tony. Wish it could be more. Love your podcast. And Ginger 277, $10. Love N3, you rock, Gary. Thank you, Ginger, for your support. And everyone sending in super chats tonight and our 16 new members in the Next News family. I guess you guys call yourselves Gary's Gorillas. Is that what it's called? I love it. Ask her how far will you travel an hour? If it's easy for you to say, what are you guys talking about? Tell parents in the 80s, it's not Trump and Melania need a little, what? What are you guys talking about? Dumb down the education system, legalize, you have a nation full of idiots. Craig, congratulations. 3 months, his membership has been active. How cool is that? That is awesome. 3 months. So, Craig, you see the little chevrons next to your name? The longer you maintain your membership, the chevrons continue until you have like this super cool, like big, like you'll see it eventually, but that's awesome. Congratulations on your 3-month anniversary here. And then we have Resto Guy 1 dropping $10 for some cheap hot dogs next time you go to DC. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to watch what I'm eating right now. I'm getting back. I'm back with my personal trainer. I have a goal weight to hit. I'm going to be totally transformed in the next 6 months. You guys will witness it. You'll go along for the ride. And as you can see, I'm not wearing my hat because I finally got a haircut that works for me. So that's a plus. Craig has just gifted 1 Next News Network membership. Thank you, Craig. And Irish Russ was the lucky recipient. We are at $76. Maybe we'll hit 100. That'd be great. We can hit $100, $24. We're almost there. That would be nice. I could go tell Angie. Stanley Davis says you've already lost weight. You can see it, right? Yep. You can see it. I can see it. Definitely, I can see it on camera. Okay. My state is decriminalized. You guys are talking about a lot of different stuff here in the chat room. Okay. Who's going to be the one to drop 24? Who's dropping $24 on the tail end of this show? Man, you guys are all talking about just go carnivore. Jeremy. I'm like on a super high protein diet. 2,000 calories a day, 200 grams of protein, working out 3 days a week. That's what I'm doing. I was in the gym this morning, working out, feel great. Got all my fluids replenished. Everything's solid. Okay, Heather Reeve, Gary, Brian, Angie, N3. Don't forget Todd. Don't forget Todd, Heather. She's dropping $2. Thank you, Heather, for that. Todd works hard putting the show together. He is the show producer, works alongside me, putting everything together for you guys so we can push back on all these narratives. It's great to see everybody here. Brian, is the chat window different? It seems different. It's like it's missing like a frame or something. I don't know. Did you do that on purpose, or is that something that, and why did you choose that format? You thought it looked better. Okay. Brian thought it looked better. Do you guys think it looked better? Tom B420 dropping $5. Thank you, Tom B420. Where are we at? Boom. We're at 83. We're almost at 100. Let's go. Let's go. And while we are waiting to see who's going to break the mold of break the number $100, let's take a look at what we have going on in the main feed here. Let's look. What is okay? The White House, America First, HUD Gov terminated taxpayer-funded housing for illegal aliens. Secretary Turner. This is big news. CNN reports alleged Gaza death toll. This Democrat stooge just said, as Democrats, we believe in merit. What? Only after Dems check which of the 72 different genders they are and if they identify as a bird. Hakeem Jeffries, really? Believing in merit? That's new.
You believe there should be a leader. Just changing topics. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard the story by now. The editor-in-chief of The Atlantic says he was caught on this text chain signal chat with top Trump administration officials as they were discussing these airstrikes in Yemen. What is your reaction to that? And do you believe there should be a congressional investigation?
There should absolutely be a congressional investigation so that we can understand what happened, why did it happen, and how do we prevent this type of national security breach from ever happening again. This is reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous. Who are some of these people that Donald Trump has put into the most sensitive national security?
Wait. Stop the press. Stop the press. Bob S. Whoa. $100, dude. Thank you. Holy cow. That was not expected. Wow. Bob, thank you for that. Holy cow. I can't wait to tell Angie. Holy cow, dude. Thank you. And Karen just became a member as well. Welcome to the family. Holy cow. Okay, let's continue this.
In America, we were promised that Donald Trump was going to hire the very best. It's all phony.
Wait a minute. What's not phony is what Michelle just did. She just put us over $200 with Bob. Michelle dropping $20. Been here a long time. Just don't chat much. Love you. And in the chat. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Wow. That was awesome. Now we're over $200. I'm like, hey, can we crack 100? You guys put me over the top at 100. Goodness.
The attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion, phony. So it's never about hiring the best people.
What?
As Democrats,
what? Just, are you guys serious? Resto guy, what are you doing? Wait. Whoa, Resto guy. Boom. $100. Dude. Wow. Oh my goodness, man. I just wanted to crack 100. And you guys in like less than a minute dropped $220. Wow. I can't wait to tell Angie, man. You guys are so cool.
Actually believe in merit. Merit that should be based on what you know, not who you know. And understand, this whole Trump administration is filled with lackeys and incompetent cronies. I'm not talking about any particular individual, though I will note that the Secretary of Defense, who was on that chain, has got to be the most unqualified person.
Okay, enough, dude. Enough. Viv B, member for 3 months. Timu version of Obama. I was about to say dime store Obama. Dollar store Obama. Who else? What else here? Secretary of State. People, we played that clip earlier. Next week the House plans to vote on Darrell Iss's No Rogue Rulings Act to limit the judicial overreach of partisan federal judges. Perfect. We definitely need that. Mike Lee. Democrats condemn this. What? Are you serious, dude? Dude. Bob, what? What? You can't beat Bitcoin? Oh, this guy must be like a Bitcoin billionaire or something over there, just dropping all this USD. Holy cow, dude. We're over $400, man. Wow. Yeah, we got some big ballers tonight, right, Skontak? Holy cow. Yeah. That was not Bob, dude. Wait, this is the same Bob that just dropped 100 like 4 minutes ago, dude. Okay. Mike Lee. Democrats condemn this violence. He posted this 4 minutes ago. He quote tweeted Insurrection Barbie. Let's check this out. Oh, we're not going to play that. Music problem. Atlantic Magazine either perpetrated a hoax or fooled by a signal hoax. Secretary of Defense Hexit denies false claims who the attack plan shared with the far-left reporter.
Can you share how your information about war plans against the Houthis in Yemen was shared with a journalist in The Atlantic? And were those details classified?
You're talking about a deceitful and highly discredited so-called journalist who's made a profession of peddling hoaxes time and time again, to include the hoaxes of Russia, or the fine people on both sides hoax, or suckers and losers hoax. So this is the guy that peddles in garbage. This is what he does. I would love to comment on the Houthi campaign because of the skill and courage of our troops. I've monitored it very closely from the beginning. And you see, we've been managing 4 years of deferred maintenance under the Trump administration. Our troops, our sailors were getting shot at as targets. Our ships couldn't sail through. And when they did shoot back, it was purely defensively or at shacks in Yemen. President Trump said, no more. We will reestablish deterrence. We will open freedom of navigation, and we will ultimately decimate the Houthis, which is exactly what we're doing as we speak from the beginning, overwhelmingly.
Why were those details shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
Right,
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's it.
Yeah, if you don't know what they're talking about, apparently there was a Signal conversation that occurred, and it was between members of the national security team or something, and apparently somehow an Atlantic reporter was added to the thread. Now, I don't know who started the thread. I don't know how it began. I don't know. I don't even know what the Atlantic reporter's name is, but maybe they were accidentally added. Maybe they got in somehow. I don't know. But clearly you could see in his body language that he is very concerned about this. And he's firing back. I think his mannerisms kind of tell me, like, what is he doing? He's going on the offensive, attacking the Atlantic reporter for peddling fake news. He doesn't really answer the question other than saying that there was no war plans shared on Signal. Now, what I can tell you is that when I was in D.C., on multiple conversations I had with people, Signal was the preferred method of communication among everybody in D.C. So it's not outside the realm of reality for members of the administration to be using that encrypted messaging system to communicate. Now, how the Atlantic reporter got into that thread is unknown. My guess is whoever started the thread accidentally clicked that person's name. But I don't know who started it. So this is going to be a scandal, no question. So keep watching. We've got Viv B just gifting 5 Next News Network memberships. Thank you, Viv B. And Heather Reeve is apologizing to Todd, producer Todd. I apologize, Todd. It's a brain injury thing, not you. And Mama Bear Marianne was a receiver. Master Jan, Deplorable Garbage, Patriot Canuck, Kenneth Gulliams also receiving a membership. Deb Noble dropping $10. Fan character dressed as a cheerleader jumping in the air. And to all of our new members, 23 new members tonight, make sure you check out our behind-the-scenes videos and the playlist on the channel. I think you'll enjoy some of that stuff. Michelle Glass dropping $5. You deserve it, Gary. You've been doing this a long time. I remember it was just you and another guy. Sorry, I don't remember his name. You're probably talking about Brian. He's still here. You know, we couldn't do this show without Brian. There's no question. Brian's been riding shotgun on this show, working the tech angle for a very long time. You know, Brian's the one who puts all these things on the screen for you, makes everything look pretty. And, you know, I could not do it without Brian. So we are not done yet. Anyway, we do have to go, though. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we've witnessed tonight is nothing short of extraordinary. Donald Trump's administration has officially gone full beast mode, resetting America in ways the establishment media refuses to acknowledge. In a single Sunday, Trump's cabinet delivered a coordinated assault on the failed policies of the past. Education Secretary Linda McMahon declared war on our broken education system, championing school choice and local control over bureaucratic tyranny. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz put Iran on notice with a crystal clear ultimatum that leaves no room for misinterpretation. America will not be threatened. Meanwhile, the border crisis that defined the previous administration has been dramatically reversed, with crossings at a 25-year low. It's not luck, it's leadership. In President Trump's celebration of Greek Independence Day, Opa! It wasn't just ceremonial. It was a strategic reassertion of American strength on the global stage as Hyundai announces a $20 billion investment. And Commerce Secretary Lutnick declares April 2nd as American Liberation Day. It's clear that Trump's economic renaissance is accelerating beyond what even his supporters predicted. Yes, I could not have predicted this, but this is what promises made, promises kept looked like. So as America rises, the Democrat Party implodes. Chuck Schumer facing mounting pressure to step down, while AOC and Bernie Sanders navigate their own power struggles. The party that once claimed moral high ground is consumed by infighting and ideological purity tests instead of addressing the concerns of ordinary Americans. Perhaps the most disturbing is the left's escalating fear of Elon Musk's vision for America. When suspicious devices appear near Tesla dealerships and liberals resort to dangerous swatting tactics against Tesla owners, we're witnessing the death throes of a desperate ideology that can no longer win in the marketplace of ideas. All of this unfolds as Trump makes strategic geopolitical moves to secure America's future, from Greenland's resource potential to rare earth deals with Ukraine that challenge China's dominance. This is the America that we have been fighting for, but the battle's far from over. And we need your continued support to bring you the truth that the mainstream media will not tell you. So, if Super Chat is not your thing, you want to donate privately, you can go to the links in the description, because every contribution, no matter the size, helps us maintain our independence and continue this vital work. So I want to extend a special thank you to everyone who sent in Super Chats and Rumble Rants tonight. I mean, Michelle and Deb and Bob and all the gifted memberships, and Heather and Viv, Resto Guy. I mean, all you guys, Tom B, Irish Russ, all you guys, Tony, Marilyn, Lisa, Tom, Bruce, Craig, everyone who gave so much today. Thank you so much. That was totally, and look at that, guys. I think you did this on purpose. Our chat revenue's at $420. I think that goes perfectly with your theme in the chat room tonight. Where's Pothead Kenny when you need him, right? Anyway, your questions, your comments, they drive our show and prove that real Americans are engaged and fighting back. And of course, if you haven't gone to our merch shop, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you haven't got a Next News hat, a shirt, or a coffee mug, or even a banner you can hang on your wall, what are you waiting for? Show the world where you stand with our exclusive Next News gear that makes a statement. So thank you for joining the Raw feed tonight. Remember, in this fight for America's future, we are all in this together. We'll see you on the next show, and maybe I'll see you in the Discord chat. I don't know what you guys are going to be doing in there tonight, but all the new members have access now. We'll see you on the next one. Wait a minute. Bob S. just dropped $80. $80. Bob S. said break 500, Gary. Oh, man, you guys. Wow. Okay. I just had to break into that. I never do that, but I just did. God bless you guys. Good night.
You